Pokemon, medicine and martial arts. Hey, fanfic family. So glad to see you here again to continue this incredible adventure. As always, kindly remember, this story is 100% fiction, so don't go looking for dimensional portals in your closet. All rights to this fantastic novel belong to the original author. We're just your humble narrators of epic tales. Are you enjoying the fanfic? Show it by subscribing to our YouTube channel and dropping us a like. And if you're impatient for more exclusive content, our Patreon is your happy place. Chapter 26 Air and Ugly Fish. In the end, Xiaozhi couldn't convince Air to stay and travel with Yu. However, Yu didn't choose to leave immediately, but stayed in the battle castle to battle. 10 days later. Yu, when are we leaving? Air asked, watching Yu return from training with a Pokemon. Well, we've been here long enough. Let's pack our bags now and leave after breakfast. Yu pondered for a moment. During these 10 days, Yu successfully advanced from Baron to Earl. During this time, the Pokemon also learned a lot from the battles. Pikachu learned Zap and Volt Attack, while Rocket learned Charged Flame Attack, which was also a gain. After leaving the battle castle, Yu and Air continued their journey for a few days. During this time, they passed a Pokemon Center. A Pokemon short film was playing in the lobby, and Air suddenly became a little nervous. Seeing this, Yu had no choice but to stay with Air to shoot a Pokemon short film. Yu was also able to witness Air's skill and talent in his Pokemon performance. Now, they had arrived at a vibrant ancient fragrance aquarium. Wow! There are so many, Yu couldn't help but exclaim as he watched the schools of water Pokemon swimming behind the glass wall. Pikachu also looked around excitedly. So beautiful, Air exclaimed, moved by the various water Pokemon. Hey! It's a mudfish. Suddenly, a Pokemon emerged from the sand, catching Yu's attention. Arriving in front of a glass wall, Yu and Air quietly watched the water Pokemon go about their business, smiling. Perhaps a Sakura fish had noticed, and while Yu and Air were quietly watching them, it swam up to Yu and Air without a shred of shyness, waving its tail like a fan and greeting them. That's a Sakura fish. It's all pink, so cute. Air smiled and waved in admiration. Hello, Sakura fish, Yu greeted with a chuckle. Even though Sakura fish couldn't hear him because of the glass wall, Yu did it anyway because of his love for Pokemon. A Pokemon suddenly swam in front of Air, startling her so much that she screamed and fell backwards. Fortunately, Yu's quick eyes and hands caught her, preventing her from falling flat on her back. Be careful, are you okay? Yu looked at the murderer who scared Air. That's just an ancient coelacanth. It turned out to be an ancient coelacanth. You scared me, Air patted her chest, saying with lingering fear. Yu and Air then toured various areas, witnessing the various water-type Pokemon. There were giant flying fish, schools of whoopers singing in unison, Pokemon strolling through the courtyard, pearl oysters playing together, and even schools of glowing electric monstrosities. Just watching the underwater Pokemon makes it feel like we're in the water. Air stood in the aisle, observing the water Pokemon, feeling as if she were in an ocean world herself. That's because we've never seen water Pokemon from this angle, Yu echoed the sentiment. Finally, during their visit, they encountered the director of the Hiruka Fragrant tribe, who was out fishing. Seeing the director's fishing rod, Yu, feeling an itch to try his hand, followed suit. Meanwhile, as they passed a golden Magikarp statue, Yu learned that the director had been fishing at the beach because of rumors of a golden Magikarp once appearing there. After borrowing 2 fishing rods from the curator, Yu and Air each chose a spot on the beach and began fishing. Air, let's have a fishing competition, Yu asked. Yu wasn't fishing because he loved it, but because he felt his Pokemon were a little low, so he wanted to capture one more. And since this was by the sea, there were bound to be more Pokemon to capture. Yeah, sure, Air said, seeing Yu's enthusiasm. Actually, Air wasn't really interested in capturing new Pokemon right now, except for pretty ones, of course, since capturing cute Pokemon was a common thing for girls. By the way, let me help you put the bait on first. Yu helped Air put the bait on first, fearing she wouldn't know how. Then the two began fishing. Soon, Air's hook moved, and she lifted the rod. It was Uglio. What an ugly Pokemon, Air said instinctively upon seeing the Uglio. Then, before Yu could say anything, she released the Uglio. Yu was speechless upon seeing this. While the shrimp was a bit ugly, it was still a rare Pokemon. Moreover, its evolution, melodic, was hailed as the most beautiful Pokemon in the Hoenn region. However, Yu remained silent, not because he was petty, but because he feared Air would regret it if he did. Air, I think your shrimp is pretty good. Don't you like it? Yu asked Air, still perplexed. No, I just thought I might catch something better later. And honestly, that shrimp is pretty ugly, Air explained. Air then caught many Pokemon, but Yu's hook remained silent. This worried Yu so much that he practically drooled at Air's presence. Wow, another Pokemon was hooked on Air's hook. Air pulled it up and saw it was the shrimp again, the one she had caught so many times before. But before Yu could say anything, Air released it again. Yu was speechless. He hadn't expected Air to be so lucky, to have such a connection with that chubby fish. Afterward, Yu explained the chubby fish's basic information to Air, but Air didn't react as Yu had expected. Instead, she optimistically continued fishing, resolving to capture it if it came back next time. Sure enough, Air reeled in another chubby fish. After Yu's explanation of the chubby fish, Air didn't release it again. Instead, she sent out her Firefox to engage in battle, preparing to capture it. Go. Firefox, use Spark. Facing the incoming sparks, the chubby fish dodged with a splash. No use? Firefox, use Howl, then Spark, bang. Because of its howl, the chubby fish couldn't avoid the sparks and was hit. At this time, Air also threw out the Pokeball, and after 3 soft sounds, the grunt was captured by Air. Yet, I captured the grunt. Air went over to pick up the Pokeball and said happily. Yu was watching the scene in amazement. He wanted to remind Air that the grunt could only splash and charge, and you sent out Firefox like this. Isn't it obviously bullying the weak? It's obviously a problem that can be solved by throwing a Pokeball, but in the end you still need to fight. Seeing that Air had already captured a Pokemon, but his fishing rod still didn't move at all, Yu couldn't help but hold his forehead again, feeling that she must have not checked the almanac before going out today. Seeing Yu's distressed look, Air also threw the hook out again. Not long after, Air's hook moved again. Seeing this, Yu didn't know what to say, and his face was depressed. Chapter 27 2 verses 3. At this moment, Yu's hook finally moved. It's hooked, it's finally hooked. I've been waiting for so long and finally there's something, Yu shouted excitedly, not forgetting to pick up the fishing rod. When he got up, he saw that it was a red fish-shaped Pokemon, Magikarp. Yu was so angry that he threw the Magikarp directly into the water. He had been fishing for so long and only caught one Pokemon, and it was Magikarp. My god. Air covered her mouth and laughed at the side, and slowly lifted the fishing rod without any hurry. With a wow. Air caught a golden Pokemon. After taking a closer look, wasn't this the golden Magikarp that the director of the aquarium had always dreamed of catching? Yellow. Golden Magikarp. Seeing this, Air was also a little surprised. She didn't expect her luck to be so good. Air was stunned for a moment, then quickly realized what was happening. While pulling on the fishing rod, she said to Yu, you'll capture this golden Magikarp, let me, Yu said, stunned. Yu hadn't expected Air to give him the chance to capture the golden Magikarp. Yet, it's your bad luck. You haven't caught a single Pokemon yet, Air said with a chuckle. Besides, I'm not really planning on capturing Pokemon right now, and I just caught Ugly Enthu. So, you'll have to convince the golden Magikarp. Well, I won't hold back. Yu, not even planning on sending out Pikachu, simply threw a Pokeball at the golden Magikarp. Go ahead, Pokeball, 3 dogs echoed, officially marking the addition of a new companion to Yu's team. Ha ha ha. I caught a golden Magikarp. Thank you, Air, thank you so much. Yu quickly ran over to pick up the Pokeball and excitedly kissed it twice, accidentally kissing Air as well. Air's face flushed bright red, like a ripe apple. Air, I didn't mean to, Yu said, realizing what was happening. He blushed deeply himself. Heaven and earth are witnesses. Even when he was close to his senior sister and Zuner, he had never kissed them on the face. Yu was so excited because he hadn't caught a single Pokemon in a long time. Suddenly, he caught one, and it was a shiny Pokemon, so excited was he. It's okay, but it won't happen again, Air said in a barely audible voice. Yu nodded, promisingly, like a chicken pecking at rice. Ah. You too caught a golden Magikarp. Can I borrow it? At this moment, the aquarium director, drawn by the commotion, came over. Air's face flushed again at the director's words. That's no problem. Come out, Magikarp. Seeing it was the aquarium director, Yu readily agreed. This really is a golden Magikarp. The director was so excited upon seeing the golden Magikarp that he jumped up and down a few times. He kept muttering, I didn't expect a legend to be true. Ha ha ha. I really saw golden Magikarp, I really saw it. Ha ha. Yu and his son watched quietly from the side, expressing their understanding. After all, taming the golden Magikarp and displaying it at the Yaoxiang Aquarium for the whole country to see was his lifelong wish. Tisk tisk boss, look, there really is a golden Magikarp. Humph. So what if it's a golden Magikarp? It's a rare Pokemon like that. Only you, boss, can have one. Ha ha ha. Well said, boss. I like that. Three hoodlums dressed in shabby clothes approached Yu. Their conversation also caught Yu's attention. Hey, kid, you have a pretty good Magikarp. Lend it to me. Yeah, kid, didn't you hear my boss talking to you? If you know what's good for you, just hand over your Magikarp and we'll let you go. Then let's see what you can do. Yu's eyes turned cold. Seeing the three men's aggressive expressions, Air instinctively shrank behind Yu, while the curator didn't even raise an eyelid, continuing to play with the Magikarp without a care. If you don't accept my toast, then you'll have to drink. Go ahead, Turban Thug, it's your turn. Beedrill, go. Sandslash, seeing the other side sending out their Pokemon one after another, Yu, with a solemn expression, pulled out his Sparrow's Pokeball and sent it out. Tisk, I thought you were so powerful, kid, but you only have 2 Pokemon? The Thug's leader was even more disdainful upon seeing this. Pikachu, use 100,000 volts. Rocket Sparrow, use Steel Wings on the Turban Thug, Yu ordered directly, ignoring the Thugs. Turban Thug, block it, use Tile Break. Sun King, use Sand Splash. Rocket Sparrow and the Turban Thug's skills clashed evenly. But Pikachu's 100,000 volts was completely blocked by Sand Splash. Good opportunity. Beedrill's Double Needle attack on Pikachu. Pikachu, get out of the way, Yu ordered hurriedly. Pikachu frantically dodged Beedrill's fierce Double Needle attack. In the end, Pikachu was caught off guard and still got hit. Pikachu, are you okay? Yu asked anxiously, almost unleashing his sharpshooter and charging in to finish off the Thugs. But he couldn't. The reason he had attacked the man in black without hesitation last time was because the weapon he wielded could potentially harm a Pokemon at any moment. But if it were a Pokemon battle, he wouldn't have any reason to attack, even if the odds were against him. Watching Beedrill approaching Pikachu, Yu decisively ordered, Rocket Sparrow, charge Flame Attack, I won't let you succeed. Sandslash, use Speed Star to intercept Rocket Sparrow, but Rocket Sparrow was still slightly faster, knocking Beedrill back before it could even land Speed Star. But Beedrill was still a bit stronger, and even after being hit by a skill with detrimental attributes, it didn't lose its combat capability. Instead, Rocket Sparrow was hit by the following Speed Star and instantly fell from the air. Shorang, used Dropkick. Rocket Sparrow, still falling in midair, was instantly sent flying again. Rocket Sparrow, bang! Yu quickly ran to catch the Rocket Sparrow, but the force from Rocket Sparrow also sent him flying. Yu's insole slid down a meter or two, balancing the indirect force on his body. Such a powerful force. Rocket and Pikachu were completely out of sync with it. At this moment, Yu's determination to make his Pokemon even stronger strengthened him. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 28 The Powerful Iron-Armed Pistol Shrimp. Yu, are you okay? Air ran over, looking at Yu with concern. Shorang, use continuous tile splitting, the leader of the gang, without giving Yu time to react, immediately gave Shorang the order to attack. Get behind me. Seeing the oncoming attack, Yu pulled Air behind him. Seeing Yu's instinctive action, Air, who had already been pulled behind him by Yu, couldn't help but feel a warm and sweet feeling in her heart. Pikachu, use your full strength volt attack on Shorang. Rocket Sparrow takes this opportunity to use Feather Perch. Pikachu, standing up again, shouted and used Volt attack, his body radiating with flashes of electricity, and at a rapid speed, knocked Xiaorang away. Damn brats, what are you two still looking at? Hurry up and attack. Seeing Xiaorang almost unable to fight due to the Volt attack, the leader of the gang roared. Pikachu, Pikachu, due to the side effects of Volt's attack, fell to the ground, unable to fight. Pikachu. Sure enough, the side effects of this move on you are still too severe? Yu squatted down and touched Pikachu's little head, then performed some simple treatment on it. Air, help me take care of Pikachu. Yu picked up Pikachu and handed it to Air. Okay. Is Pikachu okay? Air took Pikachu and asked worriedly. It's okay. I gave it some simple treatment, and it will be fine after a rest. Yu turned and looked at the three thugs, frowning. It's a bit difficult now. Although my medical skills are good, it is not a magic skill. It can't be cured in an instant. Pikachu still needs time to recuperate. Forget it, now we can only rely on Rocket Sparrow to delay time, although the other party didn't know what Yu was thinking at the moment, but when he saw the situation on the field, he still said, Hey, kid, you'd better hand over the golden Magikarp. We will let it go, otherwise, you dream. Pokemon are my friends. I will never hand over my Pokemon even if I die. Although Yu knew that the current situation was not in his favor, he still chose not to hand over the golden Magikarp, because he regarded Pokemon as his friends and family. HMPH. If you don't accept my offer, then you'll have to drink. Attack, Sanderless, use Speed Star, Beedrill, use Missile Needle, Sara, use Dropkick, damn it, let's fight. Rocket, use your maximum powered charged flame attack, Fire Arrow, Rocket chirped, its body engulfed in flames, charging towards the enemy Pokemon with unstoppable momentum. Bang! Ultimately, Rocket, outnumbered, was once again struck by Sara's dropkick. It flew backwards and landed heavily on the ground, its eyes swirling, incapacitated. Haha. Even Rocket is incapacitated. Let's see what Pokemon you have now, the thugs laughed wildly. Pikachu, good chance. Use Thunder? Yu ignored the thugs. What, Pikachu? Isn't it incapacitated? How could it recover so quickly? The thugs were shocked. Pikachu, a thick bolt of lightning struck Sara and the others. Sun King, use Sand Splash. The sand from the sand splash onto Pikachu's thunder, instantly drowning it out like a firefly against a bright moon. Sun King, move forward and use round, one of the thugs ordered without hesitation. Thick lightning struck Sun King's spiky body. Even Sun King, resistant to lightning, was severely wounded and nearly incapacitated. This further demonstrated the power of Pikachu's thunder. Damn! Pikachu used Lightning Flash to disrupt their attack. Yu was extremely upset. He had never expected the thugs to be so decisive as to let Sun King bear the damage of the thunder alone. Beedrill, move at high speed, catch up to Pikachu, and use Double Needle. Xiaolang, move up to help intercept Beedrill. A tug-of-war chase ensued. After a flurry of attacks, Pikachu was ultimately outmatched and struck by Beedrill's missile needles. Just wait and see how we deal with your Pikachu, the thugs laughed grimly. Yuyu's face was grim, his fists clenched until they cracked, and he remained silent. Xiaorang, use the Mega Kick. Seeing that Xiaorang was about to grab Pikachu, Yuyu couldn't help but feel anxious. He leaned forward, ready to rescue Pikachu at any moment. No matter what, Yu would not let Pikachu come to harm. Just as Xiaorang was about to grab Pikachu, a blue figure suddenly appeared and repelled it. A voice echoed, Iron Arm Pistol Shrimp, use the crab punch on Xiaorang. Huh? What do you mean, old man? Are you trying to make an enemy of us too? The thug leader frowned and demanded with a stern look. It's the aquarium's director Zhang. I didn't expect him to be so powerful, Air exclaimed in surprise, covering her mouth with her hands. Yet, I didn't expect that. Sure enough, the masters are all among the common people. Yu was also surprised. He hadn't imagined that such a humble director could be so powerful. Haha, this guy is a good guy. He gave me the opportunity to see the golden Magikarp in my lifetime, so I'll protect him. You are no match for me, so leave on your own, the aquarium director said with a smile. What? You old man, you actually look down on us? Come on, Sara, use the Mega Kick. The gang leader was furious when he saw the director's disregard for them. Sandslash, Speed Star, Beedrill, Missile Needle, Ironclad, First Crab Punch, then Bubble Beam. Seeing the three Pokemon attacking, the director remained calm and gave orders. The ironclad's claws suddenly glowed wide, and it hammered the Sora flying towards it, then quickly used Bubble Beam to block the Speed Star and Missile Needle. Iron Shrimp, use Sword Dance now, then Crab Punch, the director ordered without hesitation, not giving the opponent a chance to react. Kangshin King, move forward, then use Rounding. Seeing the incoming Iron Shrimp, the thug ordered hastily. Bang! With a sound of fists hitting flesh, the Sand Shrimp was immediately knocked out of action by the Iron Shrimp's Crab Punch. How is this possible? The thug screamed in disbelief. But perhaps he had forgotten that the Iron Shrimp's Crab Punch was amplified by the Sword Dance. Chapter 29 Iron Arm Pistol Shrimp vs Cat Boss. HMPH. Don't get complacent, Sora. Use Chain Kicks, gather Beedrill, then coordinate with Sora to unleash a frenzy of attacks. Seeing how easily the Pistol Shrimp incapacitated Sansang, the leader and the remaining thugs shouted furiously. Pistol Shrimp, use Water Gun on the ground. The aquarium director, unfazed by their aura, continued calmly issuing orders. What? The thugs exclaimed. What? You exclaimed. The Pistol Shrimp, after using its water gun on the ground, used the impact of the water gun to rise directly into the air, not only dodging the combined attack of Sora and Beedrill, but also the two Pokemon's inertia prevented them from stopping and collided directly. Pistol Shrimp, use Crab Punch. The director took advantage of the moment when the two Pokemon collided and fell to the ground and decisively ordered the Pistol Shrimp to unleash its Crab Punch from the sky. You had never imagined that such a skill could be used in this way. Ignoring Yu's sigh, as the claws of the Iron Arm Pistol Shrimp fell, the Shuarang and the giant Beedrill lost their combat capabilities as expected. You old fool, are you bullying the weak? Let me have a few moves with you. A young man dressed in a Shamit style with colorful hair strode straight over with a cat boss. How could it be you, Xiaoyi? The curator was surprised to see the newcomer. Brother Xiaoyi, unlike the curator's surprise, the three gangsters were so excited when they saw the newcomer, as if they had seen the backbone. Why can't it be me? You have taught my people a lesson. As the big brother, how can I not come out and express my opinion? The Shamit boy called Brother Xiaoyi said in a very arrogant manner. Huh? Brat, is this how you greet your grandpa when you see him? The originally kind curator immediately blew his beard and glared. HMPH. Stop rambling. Boss Cat uses 100,000 volts. Hey, brat? It's been a while, and you haven't grown any stronger. Iron Arm Pistol Shrimp, dodge. Charge forward and use your full strength Crab Punch. Hit me hard, the director ordered with a look of displeasure. Chop. Boss Cat, though frail, was brimming with power, and the Iron Arm Pistol Shrimp was even more impressive. For a moment, the two seemingly weak, yet powerful Pokemon were locked in a fierce battle. What a force, Air, and the three thugs were stunned, their hearts pounding with a collective chorus. Huh? After a while, you've really gotten stronger. Let's see how you can block this. The Iron Arm Pistol Shrimp unleashed a continuous stream of water. The director raised his brow. The Iron Arm Pistol Shrimp cried out, and then it raised its claws and unleashed a continuous stream of water from its claws, the power of which was truly astonishing. Sometimes, as Boss Cat dodged, nearby rocks suffered. The water gun's impact left tiny holes half a foot deep. Xiao Wei, observing this from the corner of his eye, couldn't help but yell, "Are you kidding me? I'm not well educated, don't lie to me. That's not a water gun, it's a Gatling gun, haha. No difference, brat, let's see what you can do now." The curator laughed heartily. HMPH. Stop looking down on me, Boss Cat. Continuous high-speed stars, the water gun and high-speed stars intertwined in the air, canceling each other out. But the Iron Arm Pistol Shrimp had a slight advantage. Taking advantage of the momentary gap between the water gun and high-speed stars, the Iron Arm Pistol Shrimp unleashed a bubble beam. Boss Cat couldn't dodge the oncoming bubble beam and was hit directly. Boss Cat, provocation. Xiao Wei, surprised, quickly regained his composure. Not bad, the headmaster nodded in approval at his grandson's ability to react. What's the provocation skill, Air? Watching from behind asked at the right moment. It's the provocation skill. When an opposing Pokemon uses provocation, that Pokemon can only use the same skill repeatedly for a period of time, explained to Air, his eyes fixed on the situation. Boss Cat, used noise first, then crazy scratching, Iron arm pistol shrimp, hold on. Use foam beam to target the surrounding sand. The pistol shrimp's foam beam blasted the sand around it, sending up clouds of dust. Soon, the pistol shrimp's silhouette was completely obscured. Damn, my vision is completely blocked. Xiao Wei frowned, then relaxed. Boss Cat, use the treasure technique on the dust. The gold coin thrown by the treasure technique easily passed through the dust that blocked the view. Hey! Perfect timing. The iron shrimp uses its crab punch to knock those coins away. Really? Boss Cat, use iron tail. The dust had delayed the iron shrimp, giving it ample time to wait out its provocation. Looking at the incoming coins, the iron shrimp dismissively used its crab punch, knocking them away. Before the iron shrimp could react, a dark figure swooped down and whipped it back with its iron tail. Haha, I still have the better plan. Xiao Wei burst into laughter at this, but his laughter quickly faltered. While Boss Cat had used its iron tail to whip the iron shrimp back, the iron shrimp wasn't a pushover either. It clamped down on Boss Cat's tail, its claws tightly gripping it, refusing to release no matter how the cat thrashed. Do you think I can do anything to you? Boss Cat, use iron tail on the surrounding rocks, Xiao Wei angrily exclaimed. Along with the sound of hitting the rocks, the physical strength of the iron arm pistol shrimp began to decrease, and the physical strength of the cat boss also began to plummet due to the clamping and the use of the iron tail skill. This is a competition of endurance. It depends on which Pokemon can't hold on first. After a minute or two, the iron arm pistol shrimp still lost its ability to fight due to exhaustion. Wahoha Dad, you finally lost to me. In the Pokemon battle, I finally beat Grandpa by one round before you. Seeing that it was the cat boss who won, Xiao was so excited that he danced with joy. Okay. It's just a win against me. Are you so excited? The curator said unhappily. You don't understand this. This is a bet between me and my dad. Although this iron arm pistol shrimp is not your main Pokemon, I still won. Oh, forget it. I don't want to care about you anymore, but I will protect the little brother over there. He has fulfilled my wish to see the golden Magikarp. So you can do whatever you want. The director pointed at you and the golden Magikarp swimming at the beach not far away. Ah, golden Magikarp, Grandpa, you saw the golden Magikarp. Xiao Wei, with a look of surprise, looked in the direction of his grandfather's finger, and his expression immediately became almost the same as when the director first saw the golden Magikarp. Grandpa, I didn't expect that you really didn't lie to us. There really is a golden Magikarp on this beach. That's right. You don't even look at who I am. Look at your little achievement, the director said proudly. Chapter 30 Nightmare's determination to become stronger. Finally, after listening to the curator's story, Xiao Wei also knew the whole story. He first went to the three gangsters with a dark face and scolded them. Then he came to Yu, apologized to him, and extended an invitation to visit his home. That's not good, Yu postponed. It's okay. Just consider it an apology on behalf of my three ignorant brothers, and thank you for fulfilling my grandfather's wish to see the Golden Carp King. Xiao Wei smiled, and at the same time he was happy for his grandfather in his heart. That's, Yu wanted to postpone. But before he could say anything, Xiao Wei had already pulled him to his home, and at the same time he didn't forget to say, that's settled. I'll go and get rid of my group of brothers first. Wow. Brother Xiao, your house is so big. Looking at the manor in front of him, Yu was amazed. Pika, haha. Not bad. And from now on, don't call me Brother Xiao anymore. Just call me Xiao. Xiao patted Yu's shoulder, looking pleased. Master, you're back. Just then, an elderly man dressed in butler's attire emerged from the manor and headed towards Yu and the others. Seeing Xiao, he excitedly exclaimed, Master Xiao, you're finally back. Yes. Toya, it's been a long time. Are you feeling well? Xiao was delighted to see the elderly man. Toya. I'm sure the young master, and these two guests are tired. I'll have dinner prepared for you. Please go to your rooms and rest, Toya said, leading the group. Yu had originally arrived at the Yaoxiang Aquarium at noon, but the events at the beach had delayed him considerably, and it was now dusk. Yu and Air went to rest in the room assigned to them by Yato. They returned to the hall for dinner. During the meal, Yu learned that the seemingly unassuming fisherman-like director of the Yaoxiang Aquarium was actually the former water king of the Kalos region, King Wu. Yu was so shocked upon hearing this news that he stood up and apologized. Yu's reaction left King Wu and Xiaoyi both amused and embarrassed. King Wu waved his hand, asking Yu to sit down, and expressed his indifference. Only then did Yu sit down again. Yu took the opportunity to ask King Wu and Xiaoyi for advice on Pokemon battles. After all, one of them was a king and the other was even more powerful. Seeing Yu's good character, King Wu and Xiaoyi agreed, and their son listened in. Dinner passed in a harmonious atmosphere. Regional dividing line. In a small town somewhere in the Kalos region. Mom, why don't you let me go on a trip? A young girl angrily glared at her mother. Of course not. Are you old enough to claim your first Pokemon? If you don't have one, you're underage, and minors can't travel. The girl's mother wasn't buying it. What? There are minors traveling, so why can't I? I beg you, Mom, the girl begged. If I say no, then no. You better stay and finish your studies, the girl's mother said firmly. HMPH. I'm full. The girl put down her bowl and chopsticks, stood up and left angrily. Where are you going? To my room. To do my homework? The girl said angrily. This kid, hearing the sound of a door closing, the girl's mother shook her head and smiled bitterly. Time divider. As time passed, the dinner party at the manor drew to a close. Yu, who was chatting with King Wu and Xiaoyi, glanced at the clock and saw that it was already late. She and her beloved son said goodnight to King Wu and Xiaoyi, and then each returned to their own rooms. After returning to his room, Yu didn't go to sleep right away. Instead, he gave Pikachu and the others a bath, then sat cross-legged on the bed to sort out tonight's harvest. Comparing the distance between himself and Xiaoyi, Yu sadly realized how weak he still was. Forget it, forget it. I won't think about it anymore. The more I think about it, the more my head hurts. I'd better go to bed first. Yu sighed inwardly, a headache brewing. You are him, that little beggar. Even that lowly person is worthy of being acquainted with Miss Zuner and Miss Kalen. He's really a toad wanting to eat swan meat, humph. He doesn't even look at his own poverty. Young Master Yang is such a prominent figure. How could Miss Kalen and Miss Zuner offend young Master Yang because of him? He's really asking for his own death, in a luxurious villa. Listening to the cold and sarcastic remarks from all sides, Yu clenched his fists, his heart filled with anger. But he was powerless to do anything. As others had said, he had no power or influence, just a country boy. Yu, leave first, you're not welcome here. Watching his senior sister and Zuner approach him, Yu roared in agony. Why? Why are you doing this to me? Why? Because they're richer than you, because they have higher status than you. Then, more people appeared, pointing and surrounding him. Just because they were born into a better family, you treat me like this? It's not my decision to be born, Yu cried out, a little overwhelmed. Go away, go away. Don't come near me, go away, don't come near me. Huff. Yu sat up from the bed, panting heavily. He stood up and walked to the window, gazing at the starry sky. He shook his head and smiled bitterly. I didn't expect to have such a dream again. Pikachu. Perhaps sensing Yu's emotions, Pikachu opened his hazy eyes and came to Yu's side, calling out a few times with concern. I'm fine, Pikachu. Don't worry about me. I'm so sorry to have disturbed your sleep. Yu picked up the Pikachu next to him and stroked it soft for Pikachu. Pikachu cried out in comfort, held in Yu's arms, and watched the starry sky with him. Gazing at the starry sky, listening to the rustling of the night breeze, feeling the warmth of Pikachu in his arms, Yu's eyes gradually gave way to a look of determination. He wanted to become stronger, even stronger, so strong that those who had looked down on him would regret it. Yu shouted in his heart. Pikachu, let's work hard to become stronger together. Pikachu, as if sensing Yu's unwavering fighting spirit, Pikachu raised its sleepy little head, saw the determination in Yu's eyes, and cried out excitedly. Chapter 31 Teaching. It was early in the morning. After a half-drowsy sleep, Air woke up and went to the bathroom, intending to return to her warm bed for another nap. But as she passed the window, she heard a series of whoosh sounds. Curious, Air went to the window and looked out. In a courtyard within the manor, Yu was wielding a silver spear, brandishing it with such ferocity that only streaks of dazzling silver light could be seen. Not far from Yu, Pikachu and Rocket were engaged in a fierce battle, alternately accompanied by lightning and gusts of wind. Looking toward the nearby pond, a golden Magikarp could be seen, repeatedly leaping out of the water with its water splash. Several fist-sized stones were tied to its body. In the manor courtyard. Amazing. I didn't expect you, Yu, to possess such impressive martial arts skills. King Wu watched Yu's spear dance with amazement. After demonstrating all the spear techniques he'd learned, Yu, standing with his spear put away, scratched his head a bit sheepishly at King Wu's praise and said, "Not bad. I didn't expect you'd be so hardworking, training before dawn, because it's still too weak. I also want to thank Mr. King Wu for helping me train the golden Magikarp." Yu approached King Wu with his spear in hand, watching his Pokemon in training. "Don't be so polite. After all, you've helped me fulfill my wish of seeing the golden Magikarp. And I was up early and had nothing to do," King Wu said with a smile. "Wow, Yu. I didn't expect you knew martial arts. Can you teach me?" Xiaoyi rushed out of the house in his pajamas, having evidently witnessed Yu's practice. "Why are you running out dressed like this? How disgraceful," King Wu scolded Xiaoyi, noticing his expression. "It's okay, Grandpa," Xiaoyi said nonchalantly. Well, Yu was a bit embarrassed and at a loss for words. "Is it not possible?" Xiaoyi looked a little disappointed. "Nonsense. That's someone else's skill. How can I teach it so easily?" King Wu said angrily. King Wu, calm down." Seeing King Wu's excitement, Yu quickly persuaded him, then looked at Xiaoyi and said, "It's not impossible to teach you martial arts, but practicing martial arts is very hard. Are you sure you can stick with it?" "Yes, I can stick with it. Master, please accept my disciple's greetings," Xiaoyi said excitedly when Yu said he would teach him martial arts, and then knelt down to Yu. "You don't have to do that." Seeing Xiaoyi about to kneel, Yu hurriedly stepped forward to support him. "Don't you Chinese people perform the ceremony of paying respects to your master when learning martial arts?" Xiaoyi asked with some confusion. "There's no need for all this," Yu waved his hand nonchalantly. "No, the rules cannot be abolished," Xiaoyi said stubbornly. "How about this? I'll teach you Kung Fu, and you teach me how to fight Pokemon?" Yu thought of a compromise. "Haha, okay." Xiaoyi thought about it, then nodded and agreed with a smile. "Haha, then it's a deal." Yu laughed along. "Why are you all so happy? Did I miss something?" Air, who came slowly with Firefox in her arms, asked curiously. Ha, looking at Air full of curiosity, Yu and Xiaoyi exchanged a glance, but didn't answer and continued laughing. The next day, Xiaoyi got up early and saw Yu's excited face. Seeing Xiaoyi's excitement, Yu smiled and said, "First, find a wooden stick and practice the 4 movements of stabbing, picking, chopping, and slashing 100 times, and then do horse stance for an hour." Then he left Xiaoyi alone and took his Pokemon to an open space to start training. "Pikachu, your Iron Tail isn't working well enough yet, so today's training will involve using it to deflect the stones I throw at you. As for Rocket Sparrow, your speed isn't quite up to par yet, so today's training will involve flying around the manor 5 times in half an hour with sandbags tied to your legs. And Magikarp, your training will be the same as yesterday. Use rocks tied to your body and repeatedly perform water splash. Do you understand?" Yu asked, looking at his 3 Pokemon. Pikachu, Rocket, Carp. Seeing that all 3 Pokemon understood, Yu dispersed and began training. "Pikachu, let's begin our training now." Yu, carrying a bag of rocks, approached Pikachu, who was training Iron Tail alone. Pikachu, seeing that Yu was about to begin training it, Pikachu excitedly shouted, its eyes brimming with fighting spirit. "Alright, here it comes." As Yu finished his words, he threw a rock with lightning speed. Seeing the stones hurtling toward him like lightning, Pikachu remained unfazed. With a powerful kick of his hind legs, he leaped into the air and unleashed his Iron Tail, sending the incoming stones flying. Pikachu, easily slicing the stones away, Pikachu, falling from the air, looked at Yu and called out, as if to say, "You're too weak. I haven't even used my full strength yet." "Well done, but that was just the appetizer. Now let's get to the real feast," Yu chuckled. Then, with a flick of his right hand, several stones flew towards Pikachu with lightning speed. Seeing more stones coming, Pikachu quickly used Iron Tail to knock them away. But even with Pikachu's speed, a few slipped through and hid him. Pikachu called out to Yu. "Alright, here they come." More stones flew from Yu's hand towards Pikachu. This time, Pikachu didn't just blast the stones away like last time, but instead used the stones to knock back the ones that followed. While this was more effective than last time, it still couldn't use its iron tail to knock away all the stones. As the stones piled up on Pikachu, more and more marks were left. Gradually, Pikachu was able to handle the incoming stones with ease, though not without damage. Pikachu, good job. You take a break. I'll go see how Rocket and Magikarp are doing with their training. Yu nodded in satisfaction at the beleaguered Pikachu. Rocket, just then, accompanied by a burst of chirping, Rocket returned, looking even more miserable than Pikachu. Upon landing, it lay like a pile of mud, unwilling to even move. Clearly, Rocket was fighting tooth and nail to complete Yu's mission. Please collect and comment. Chapter 32 Falling into the Cave. Rocket Sparrow, you did a great job. You actually finished the task 3 minutes ahead of schedule. You walked over and helped Rocket Sparrow massage the acupuncture points on his body to relieve his fatigue, while praising him generously. Rocket Sparrow cried out in comfort after being massaged by Yu. Yu, what are you doing? Air came over with a Firefox, and asked curiously when he saw Yu's actions. This is not because Rocket Sparrow has overtrained. I am afraid that it will leave any sequelae, so I massage its acupuncture points to relieve its fatigue, Yu explained without stopping the movement of his hands. Seeing that Rocket Sparrow looked very comfortable, the Firefox in Air's arms was also curious and communicated with Rocket Sparrow. How do you feel now? I feel so comfortable. The Master's massage skills are amazing, really, of course it's true. Every time the Master gives me a massage, I feel very comfortable, and then my fatigue will gradually decrease. Wow. It sounds great, I want to try it too. Suddenly, the Firefox felt a pair of hands covering his body, accompanied by a burst of comfort, which made the Firefox couldn't help but moan. Yu, you're amazing. Look at Firefox's comfortable expression, it seems like she's really enjoying it. Air first looked at Firefox's enjoyable expression, then turned her gaze to Yu with anticipation, saying, Yu, your massage is amazing. Can you teach me too? Of course. But your results won't be as good, Yu said readily. Seeing Air's puzzled look, he explained, my massage technique is more effective when stimulated by internal energy. Of course, even massage without internal energy is beneficial to Pokémon. It's okay, as long as it works, then I'll teach you now. You can practice on the side. If you have any questions, come and ask me. I'll go see how the Golden Magikarp is training. Just like that, Yu had, for no apparent reason, another apprentice. The Golden Magikarp trained in a pond with a 75-degree slope. At that moment, Qingwu was standing by the pond, watching the Golden Magikarp train while directing his iron arm pistol shrimp to harass it. Yu came over and saw this, and sincerely thanked him. Mr. Qingwu, thank you for your help. After all, if it weren't for Qingwu's help at the beach, his Golden Magikarp would have been snatched away by those 3 thugs. Although he later learned that they were Xiaoyi's subordinates, and Qingwu had taught him a lot in the past few days, and even helped him train the Golden Magikarp. Haha. Little guy, there's no need to be so polite. I'm also very happy to be able to train such a rare shiny water Pokémon like the Golden Magikarp. After all, I have too much free time, and training the Golden Magikarp allows me to see my younger self. Looking at Yu's sincere gratitude, Qingwu waved his hand and said with a generous smile. By the way, Mr. Qingwu, I came here to say goodbye to you. I'm going to challenge the Hiruka gym this afternoon, and then I'll be on my way to the next gym. Oh. Is that so? Then I won't keep you. I wish you a great victory in the gym match this afternoon. Seeing Yu's determined face, Qingwu knew that it would be useless to persuade him, so he didn't try to persuade him. By the way, the trainer of the Hiruka gym, Chakro, is good at using rock-type Pokémon. But I think the only Pokémon that can restrain rock types is the water-type Magikarp. Although other Pokémon have skills that restrain rock types, they are still at a disadvantage. Qingwu seemed to suddenly remember something and looked at Yu curiously. After a pause, Qingwu continued, or do you already have a way to deal with it? That's not quite right. Even though your Magikarp is a shiny Pokémon, it still can't escape the fate of only having 2 moves, Splash and Charge, right? Up. After hearing Qingwu's words, a few drops of sweat trickled down Yu's forehead. Seeing Yu's embarrassed expression, Qingwu seemed to understand something. He stepped forward, patted Yu's shoulder, and said with admiration, Warrior, I admire you. My spirit is with you. The beach in Hiruka City. The aquarium had attracted many tourists. In contrast to the cheerful crowd around him, Yu, somewhat distressed, was walking along the beach with his Pikachu. King Wu's words had changed Yu's original plan. He decided to follow King Wu's advice and catch another water Pokémon. That's why Yu had hurriedly brought the resting Pikachu to the beach, hoping to capture a water Pokémon for the gym tournament. But after wandering for a long time, he still hadn't encountered a single water Pokémon he'd admired. Frustrated, Yu paid no attention to his surroundings. As he reached a coral reef, he slipped a foot and fell into it. Seeing Pikachu sinking in with him, Yu quickly pulled it into his arms, holding it tightly. Hearing the whirring of wind, Yu channeled his inner energy, tapping his toes against the rocky walls, landing safely. Pikachu, are you okay? Upon landing, Yu immediately lowered Pikachu to the ground, carefully examining it, and asked with concern. Pikachu, Pikachu. Pikachu shook its head, looking worriedly at Yu's arm, which had been scraped from the previous fall. I'm fine too. Don't worry, let's try to find a way out. Seeing Pikachu looking at his injured arm, Yu rubbed Pikachu's head nonchalantly, offering a soothing reassurance. Yu had barely had time to survey his surroundings when he landed. Now, upon closer inspection, he saw caves everywhere, interspersed with unknown stones embedded in the rocky walls. They emitted a faint glow, illuminating the surrounding caves, creating a breathtakingly beautiful scene. I didn't expect this place to be so different. Yu chose a direction and continued walking, taking in the surrounding scenery. Pikachu agreed. Squeaky. Suddenly, a series of sounds echoed. Oh no. Zubats. Get down, Yu exclaimed, quickly dropping to the ground while simultaneously holding Pikachu down. Perhaps it was Yu and Pikachu's voices that had drawn the Zubats out. Just as the Zubats flew away, a dark figure suddenly flashed past Yu. When Yu looked closer, it was gone. Pikachu. Pikachu broke free from Yu's hand, pointed to a road ahead, and kept shouting. Pikachu, did you also see a black shadow flash by just now? Seeing Pikachu nodding his little head, Yu continued tentatively, do you want me to take this road, Pika? Seeing that Yu understood what he wanted to express, Pikachu ran forward. Hey! Wait for me, Pikachu. Seeing this, Yu had no choice but to follow. Please collect and comment. Chapter 33, Recovering the Dratini. Pikachu, are you sure you heard right? There really is something here. Yu followed Pikachu to a cave that looked large, with a pool of water in the center. From his ears twitching and his darting gaze, it was clear that Yu was wary of the fleeting figure. A sudden sound caught Yu's eye, and he looked towards the source. Not far away, a small hut with white fins on either side, a large, round, silver nose, and purple eyes emerged from the water, gazing warily at Yu and Pikachu. But when Yu saw the tiny head surfacing, he shuddered, even pinching his thigh in disbelief to confirm whether he was dreaming. It's truly a piece of cake to finally find something you've been searching for, Yu roared inwardly with excitement. That was a Dratini that could evolve into Dragonite. Its evolutionary form, Dragonite, was even considered a quasi-legendary beast in the Kanto region. Unlike Yu's disbelief, Pikachu, upon seeing Dratini poke its head out of the water, enthusiastically ran over to greet it. What a brat, Yu chuckled inwardly at Pikachu's gesture and followed suit. Seeing the somewhat timid Dratini, Yu gave a kind smile, pointed at Pikachu, then at himself, and introduced himself. Hello. His name is Pikachu, and I'm Yu. Can we be friends? Me, Dratini tilted his head, sizing up the man and his pet before him. After a moment's hesitation, he finally emerged from the water. Watching Dratini playfully with Pikachu, Yu suddenly said seriously, Dratini, please fight with me. Dratini, who was playing with Pikachu, froze for a moment, then glanced at Pikachu, then back at Yu, before slowly nodding. Great, Yu cheered excitedly. After deploying their formation, Pikachu, use 100,000 volts, facing the oncoming 100,000 volts, Dratini first used high-speed movement to dodge, then unleashed Dragon Tail. Iron Tail, watching the two Pokémon retreating from each other due to the force, Yu couldn't help but admire, as expected of a quasi-god Pokémon, Dragon Tail's attack power rivals Pikachu's Iron Tail. Pikachu, use Lightning Flash for a random attack. Mystery, facing Pikachu's harassing attack, Dratini unleashed electromagnetic waves. The interference from the electromagnetic wave slowed Pikachu's already swift speed. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Dratini swung its snake-like body and directly bound Pikachu with its tail. Its binding, Yu curled his lips. Pikachu, use 100,000 volts just like that. Because of the binding, Dratini couldn't throw Pikachu away in time, and it took the full force of the 100,000 volts. Good opportunity, Pikachu, use thunder. Thanks to the 100,000 volts, Pikachu broke free and unleashed thunder. Mist, a stream of pale blue energy gathered in Dratini's mouth. With a loud cry, the blue energy shot out, meeting the thunder attack. The yellow and blue energies collided, causing an explosion. The resulting blast of air kicked up puffs of white mist. Pikachu, use lightning flash. Yu gave the command before the mist dissipated. Pikachu yelled, unleashing lightning flash. Like a swift arrow, it slammed into Dratini. Dratini's vision was blurred by the mist. Once he could make out the growing figure before him, he tried to fight back, but Pikachu, using lightning flash, attacked him. Before Dratini could react, Pikachu unleashed another iron tail, slashing fiercely at his head. Bang! With a muffled thud, Dratini's eyes began to spin, losing their ability to fight. Go, Pokeball! Seeing this, Yu didn't hesitate, pulling out an empty Pokeball and throwing it at Dratini. A flash of red light appeared, and Dratini was trapped inside the Pokeball. The Pokeball swayed a few times before becoming quiet. Great! I caught Dratini. Yu walked over and picked up the Pokeball containing Dratini, dancing with excitement. Pikachu, you're amazing. We have a new teammate. Yu went over and picked up the resting Pikachu, happily stroking its fur. Pika, Area Divider, Kalos Region, Kingwu Manor. I don't know where Yu went. He rushed out this morning and hasn't been seen since. Air looked at Blaziken and Magikarp, who had just rested for a while and returned to training, feeling a little worried. Little girl, you're thinking about your boyfriend again, Kingwu said teasingly, seeing Air's gaze. No, Mr. Kingwu, don't talk nonsense, Air blushed. Haha. But don't worry, Yu is just out catching a water Pokemon to prepare for the Haruka Gym Challenge. Kingwu smiled, and seeing Air's still a little worried, he continued, don't worry, he even brought Pikachu with him. I see. Air breathed a sigh of relief when she heard that Yu had Pikachu with him. Perhaps even Air knew that she had unconsciously become concerned about Yu. It's already noon, I'm sure Yu will be here soon. Before Kingwu could finish, a slightly disheveled figure ran over. Yu, you're back. Why are you back so late? Didn't we agree to pack after training? Air was delighted for a moment when she saw Yu, but then she puffed her lips and said angrily. Sorry. I just ran into little trouble. Yu hurriedly clasped his hands together and apologized. In their haste, Yu and Pikachu had accidentally gotten some dust and sweat on their faces as they climbed out of the cave. Now, Yu and Pikachu's faces were covered in grime, looking quite comical. PFFT. You and Pikachu look so funny right now. Here, let me wipe this off for you. Air couldn't help but giggle at the sight, pulling a pink handkerchief from her pocket and handing it to Yu. Thank you. Yu scratched his head sheepishly, took the handkerchief from Air, first wiped Pikachu's face, then wiped himself. Then, he grabbed Air's little hand, his face full of impatience. Come on, Air. Let's go challenge the Haruka Gym now. I'll show you menu Pokemon, please like and comment. Chapter 34, Challenging Haruka's Gym. It's so high, Air exclaimed, looking at the rock wall in front of her. You had already brought Air to the Haruka Gym. You must be the challenger Violet mentioned. I'm Chaklo, the gym trainer at the Haruka Gym. I've been waiting for you for a long time. Chaklo, the Haruka Gym trainer, leaned against the rock wall, waving one hand to greet Yu while holding onto a rock with the other to prevent himself from falling. Hello. My name is Yu, right? Then climb up and scale this high wall of mine. What? Climb this rock wall? Air looked a little incredulous. Well, of course, you can choose not to climb and take the elevator next door, Chaklo chuckled. Huh? Climb? Why not? You think this little wall can stop me? Air, take the elevator. Yu snorted coldly and turned to Air. But, Air wanted to say something else. Don't worry. Take the elevator first, I'll be there soon. Yu gave a reassuring smile and began climbing with Pikachu. Pikachu, let's go. Pikachu followed closely beside Yu. Watching the climbers, Air sighed helplessly and went to take the elevator nearby. Seeing Yiyu's decision to climb, Chaklo, who was almost at the top, smiled and continued climbing as well. But when Chaklo reached the top and looked down, his eyes nearly popped out of his head. He saw Yiyu and Pikachu climbing at a breakneck pace, almost 10 meters every 3 seconds. "You're amazing. I'm really looking forward to fighting you," Chaklo chuckled after a moment of shock, his eyes brimming with fighting spirit. By the time Air arrived in the elevator, Yiyu had already climbed up, and he and Chaklo stood still, listening to the referee explain the rules. "Now we're going to have a gym competition. Gym trainers can only use 2 Pokémon, while challengers can use all of their Pokémon." "All of their Pokémon?" Yiyu frowned upon hearing this. "Oh. That's the rule of my gym, because I want to see the strength of all the trainers' Pokémon," Chaklo explained, as if noting Yiyu's confusion and indignation. Seeing Yiyu already standing in the arena, Air was shocked again, and then she put her hands together like a trumpet to cheer Yiyu up. With the referee's order, both sides sent out their Pokémon. "It's your turn, Onix." "It's Onix, then you go." Pikachu. Seeing the other side send out Onix, Yiyu could only send out Pikachu, who had fought Yan Yi's Onix before. "Oh, you actually sent out a Pikachu with disadvantaged attributes." Chaklo was stunned when Yiyu sent out Pikachu. He had never expected Yiyu to send out Pikachu in the first battle, but he quickly recovered and ordered, "Onix, use Iron Tail." "Pikachu, let's use Iron Tail too." The 2 tails, large and small, shimmered together, but the stalemate lasted only a moment before Pikachu, due to its smaller size, was lashed out by Onix. "Damn it. In a contest of strength, we have no advantage at all. We can only win by speed. Pikachu, come back first," Yiyu thought as he saw Pikachu being lashed out, and then called Pikachu back. "Rocket Sparrow, it's decided on you." After Yiyu replaced Pikachu, he sent Rocket Sparrow into the station. Rocket Sparrow chirped with fighting spirit as soon as it appeared. "Rocket, use Whirlwind Blade." "Onix, use Iron Tail to block it." "Rocket, take this opportunity to use Lightning Flash, and get close to Onix to use Steel Wings." "What?" Chaklo was shocked. While Onix was using Iron Tail to block Whirlwind Blade, Rocket used Lightning Flash, moved behind it, and used Steel Wings. "Rocket, press on, and use Steel Wings. Since that's the case, let's not hide our weakness." "Onix, use Rock Block." Rocks rained down from the sky, smashing into Rocket, who was about to use Steel Wings. "No." "Rocket, use Lightning Flash to dodge." "Your Rocket is impressive. But if that's all it's got, it's going to be eliminated." Chaklo chuckled as he watched Rocket dodging in the air. As expected, just as Chaklo finished his words, Rocket, unable to dodge quickly, was hit by a rock and fell to the ground, unable to fight. What? Yiyu was stunned. He'd expected that even if Rocket lost, it would at least be able to drain some of Onix's energy. He hadn't expected Rocket to lose its fighting power so quickly. "Rocket, out of action. Challenger, please send your next Pokémon," the referee announced. "In that case, Pikachu, I'll count on you once again." Yiyu sent Pikachu out again. Pikachu leaped onto the field again. "Pikachu, take the initiative and use Lightning Flash to jump onto Onix. I won't let you succeed." "Onix, use Rock Block." Seeing the rocks about to hit Pikachu, Yiyu's lips curled slightly, and he calmly ordered, "Pikachu, use Iron Tail to knock back those rocks." Pikachu's tail glowed white, and against the incoming rocks, it acted like a badminton racket. The relentless pounding of rocks was either shattered by Pikachu or sent hurtling towards Onix. Onix, however, was formidable. Facing Pikachu's pounding rocks, it simply twisted its massive body, unfazed. "No. This won't work for Pikachu any longer. We need a quick resolution," Yiyu thought silently, then gave the order, "Pikachu, use the force of your tail's impact with the rocks to bounce up and climb onto Onix." Pikachu, like a flying figure, flicked its tail, leaped on all fours, and quickly climbed onto Onix's body. "Oh no. Onix is throwing Pikachu off." "Pikachu, hold on." "Climb atop Onix." Onix swung its massive body vigorously, but no matter how it moved, Pikachu clung to Onix like a suction cup, slowly crawling towards it. "Well done, Pikachu. Just like that, use your full power of Iron Tail." Seeing Pikachu successfully climb onto Onix's head, Yiyu said excitedly. Pikachu with a metallic knocking sound, Onyx's huge body finally fell down, losing its ability to fight. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 35 It's You, Mini Dragon. Onyx is incapacitated. Gym trainers, please send out your next Pokemon, the referee announced. I really underestimated you, Yu. Chaklo chuckled, sending out his next Pokemon. See how you handle this time. Go, Baby Tyrannosaurus, thank you for your hard work, Pikachu. Come back first. Yu's eyes lit up when Chaklo sent out Baby Tyrannosaurus, thinking his secret weapon would finally be put to use. It's you, Dratini. What? Chaklo was startled, and then the look of surprise on his face turned strange. Yu threw a Pokeball, and a flash of red light appeared, and a Slowpoke appeared on the field. Why is it Slowpoke? Where's my Dratini? Yu stared at the Slowpoke on the field, stunned. Yu, this is the Dratini you're talking about. Forgive my short-sightedness, but shouldn't it be a Slowpoke? Seeing Yu's confused expression, Chaklo didn't rush to give orders, but kindly reminded him. Yu, is this Slowpoke the newly captured Pokemon you wanted to show me? Air, watching from the sidelines, was also puzzled. No, I remember I captured Dratini, not Slowpoke. Yu ignored the two of them, muttering to himself in disbelief. Then, pointing at Slowpoke with an angry look on his face, he demanded, tell me. Where did you take my Dratini, Slowpoke? Seeing his trainer staring at him in disbelief, Slowpoke remained completely dazed and clueless. Suddenly, the idiotic Slowpoke twisted its body and transformed into a slightly lighter blue Pokemon with small black eyes and a soft, flexible body. This is, Yu rubbed his eyes in disbelief. This is Ditto, and a shiny Pokemon, too. I didn't expect you, Yu, to be so lucky to capture not only a rare Ditto, but also a shiny Pikachu, Chakro said in shock, his tone thick with envy. Ditto. Yu finally accepted the fact that Dratini was Ditto and pulled out his Pokédex to scan it. He then heard the Pokemon's introduction, Ditto, a transforming Pokemon. It can freely reorganize its cells and transform. Its only special move is transformation, alright. Ditto, it's you. Use transform. Chakro, let's have a good fight, Yu gave the order after hearing this. Alright, I'm looking forward to seeing how you conquer this mountain. Baby Tyrannosaurus, use Crunch. Baby Tyrannosaurus, let's use Crunch too. The two identical Pokemon, like two ancient Pokemon, collided, grappling and biting each other as the earth shook. Use Dragon Tail, we'll use Dragon Tail too. The two glowing green tails lashed against each other, creating a series of loud noises. Not bad. It can actually compete with my Baby Tyrannosaurus. How about this? Baby Tyrannosaurus, pick it up and use Dragon Star Swarm. Chaklo couldn't help but exclaim as he watched the Baby Tyrannosaurus retreat. You can actually jump that high, Yu exclaimed, then immediately ordered, Baby Tyrannosaurus, let's jump too. Oh. Really? Chaklo chuckled when Yu gave the same order. Yu's Baby Tyrannosaurus was Ditto, and when it was still some distance away from Chaklo's Baby Tyrannosaurus, it began to fall. It seems that while Ditto can transform into various Pokemon and possess the same skills and characteristics as its opponent, it can't replicate its physical strength and fitness. Yu thought silently at this, but he didn't forget to order, Baby Tyrannosaurus, use Dragon Tail. Hey, Baby Tyrannosaurus, use Dragon Tail too. Use the recoil to launch yourself higher. Then use Dragon Star Swarm, Chaklo ordered calmly. Baby, Chakro's Baby Tyrannosaurus roared, unleashing its tail to meet Ditto's. Due to its height, Chakro's Baby Tyrannosaurus easily whipped Yu's Baby Tyrannosaurus downwards. It even used the force of Yu's Baby Tyrannosaurus tail to increase its altitude. Now, Baby Tyrannosaurus, use Dragon Star Swarm. Streams of energy gathered in Chakro's Baby Tyrannosaurus's mouth before erupting. Streams of crimson energy erupted like swiftly falling meteors, striking Ditto without pause. Each falling meteor spurted forth clouds of dust and a chorus of sound. Oh no! Ditto, untransform. Yu attempted to return Ditto to its original form, using its petite body to dodge. Yu's idea was good, but the Dragon Swarm was still a step ahead. Just as Ditto reacted, its attack hit it. Ditto, Yu exclaimed, his fists trembling with nervousness. Baby! Baby! At that moment, Ditto's transformation into Baby Tyrannosaurus stumbled out from a pile of rocks. It turned out that just as the dragon swarm was about to strike Ditto, it had used Rock Seal to counter the dragon swarm. While ultimately outmatched, it hadn't lost its fighting power. Well done, Ditto. From now on, whatever Pokemon Ditto transforms into, I'll just call it Ditto to avoid confusion. Use Dragon Tail again. Yu breathed a sigh of relief and quickly gave the order. Baby Tyrannosaurus, let's use Dragon Tail too, followed by Crunch. Amazing. You can switch abilities so quickly. Yu's eyes lit up, and for a moment, he forgot to call out a warning. When Baby Tyrannosaurus and Ditto were staggered by the power of each other's tails, Baby Tyrannosaurus turned around and used the crushing skill to attack the defenseless Ditto. Ditto, don't give it a chance to breathe. Baby Tyrannosaurus, use the tail again. Ditto, use transform quickly. Dodge. Then, Ditto twisted its body and changed back to its original form, avoiding Baby Tyrannosaurus' tail. Huh? That was close. Ditto did a good job. Seeing this, Yu breathed a sigh of relief and wiped the sweat from his forehead. What a fast reaction speed. Seeing that Baby Tyrannosaurus attack missed, Chaklo was not angry but looked calm. Now let's see how you can dodge. Baby Tyrannosaurus, use Trample. Chapter 36 Reappearance of S Organization. Not good. Yu, who had just breathed a sigh of relief, felt his heart rise again. As the Baby Tyrannosaurus, like a miniature Tekker, crushed past, Ditto's already played out-like body was reduced to patty stuck to the ground, its eyes swirling. Ditto, you're incapable of fighting. Challenger, please change your Pokemon, the referee announced at the perfect time. Ditto, you did a great job, thank you. Now it's up to me and Pikachu, Yu muttered to himself after collecting Ditto into the Pokeball. He then sent out Pikachu. Pikachu, one more time. Pika, another Pikachu. Chakra wondered, watching the Pikachu leap into the arena. I only have 4 Pokemon. Besides the 3 you've seen, there's another Magikarp, Yu explained, perhaps noting Chakra's confusion. Oh, I see. But even so, I won't hold back. Baby Tyrannosaurus, use Dragon Tail. HMPH, that's exactly what I wanted. Pikachu, Iron Tail, then Lightning Flash. Pikachu, after a fierce clash of tails, Pikachu used the moment of separation to use Lightning Flash. He dodged the incoming Dragon Tail, then, before Baby Tyrannosaurus could regain its balance, knocked it backward. Great opportunity. Pikachu, use 100,000 volts. Baby Tyrannosaurus, stand up and avoid it. However, he was still a step too late. With a flash of lightning, arcs of electricity arced across Baby Tyrannosaurus's body. Halfway up, it collapsed again, its eyes blazing with the color of mosquito coils. Baby Tyrannosaurus is incapacitated. Pikachu wins. So the winner is Challenger Yu, the referee announced. Well done, Pikachu. We won. Yu saw this and ran into the battle arena, excitedly embracing Pikachu. We won. Yu, you're amazing. Air, who had been watching the entire match from the sidelines, was also happy for Yu and ran over excitedly. What a passionate and exciting match. Thank you, Baby Tyrannosaurus, Chaklo comforted Baby Tyrannosaurus. Then, taking the gym badge from the referee and handing it to Yu, he said seriously, excellent. You've beautifully cleared the massive wall of Haruka Gym. This is proof of your accomplishment, the rock wall badge. Thank you, Mr. Chaklo. I learned a lot from fighting you today, Yu said sincerely after receiving the badge. Haha. That's nothing. You still need to keep working hard, Chaklo laughed heartily. Meanwhile, near the cave where Yu had fallen earlier, a group of men in black clothes with a blue S printed on them, along with a group of Houndooms, were searching the area. What were they looking for? This is Blue Team 1. We haven't found our target. This is Blue Team 2. We haven't found our target Pokemon. This is Blue Team. A tall, middle-aged man with a facial scar and a katana slung across his back listened sullenly to his subordinates' reports through his headset. Finally, he pulled out the headset and crushed it, roaring angrily, useless. You're all useless. So many people, and you can't even find 2 Pokemon. What are you all doing, sir? Team 7 has discovered a cave nearby, and there's a suspicion of the Pokemon we're looking for. A leader who looked like a captain hurried over to report. Well, what are we waiting for? Lead the way. If we don't find it, I'll take care of you, The middle-aged man glanced at the team leader reporting to him, his eyes filled with murderous intent. Yes, sir, please come this way. The team leader shuddered at the sight and hurried forward to lead the way, area dividing line. At this moment, in the cave they had fallen into earlier, there was a man wearing researcher's uniform and glasses, and 2 Pokémon, one large and one small. Ice Dragon and Ice Dragon, are you alright? The man asked, his voice filled with concern as he looked at the 2 dragon-shaped Pokémon beside him. Indeed, these 2 Pokémon were none other than the ancient Pokémon, the Ice Dragon and Ice Dragon, who were believed to inhabit the frigid regions far to the north of Kalos. Ice. The Ice Dragon shook its head, indicating it was fine. Ice. The little Ice Dragon rested its head against the Ice Dragon, nuzzling it affectionately. Hurry, collect them carefully. Don't miss any corner. Even if you have to dig 3 feet underground, you must find them for me, a powerful male voice boomed from nearby. Following this, there were the rustling sounds of people responding, the sound of footsteps, and the cries of various Pokémon. Oh no! Those bad guys are coming. Don't make a sound. Let's quietly retreat into the cave. The man with glasses' expression changed, and he instructed the Ice Dragon and the Ice Dragon with a certain seriousness. Ice. The 2 Pokémon also cooperated and whispered softly, retreating with light steps. There are too many caves here. Split up and form small teams. Each of you will search a cave. At this time, the Scarred Captain first inspected the cave environment, then looked at his subordinates and ordered. Yes, the subordinates responded in unison, and then dispersed to conduct a thorough search. Not bad. It's still quite a distance from here, which should be enough for us to retreat. The man with glasses first leaned against the rock wall, observing the movements of the group of men in black. Seeing there was still time to evacuate, he breathed a sigh of relief and cautiously followed the retreating Ice Dragon and Ice Giant Dragon. But the unpredictable events of the world could happen. Perhaps because of the light, the man with glasses accidentally kicked a stone as he cautiously left. Who's there? Some of you go check what's going on. The sudden movement in the quiet cave immediately caught the attention of the Scarred Captain. Hearing the approaching footsteps, the man with glasses was so nervous he couldn't move, his back soaked with sweat. Thump, thump, thump. Each footstep sounded like a screech of death on the man's heart. And just at this moment of panic, a figure silently appeared behind him, a white hand covering his mouth. The man's pupils widened at the sudden scene, filled with fear, and he tried to struggle. Then he heard a young male voice sounding in his ears. Chapter 37 Return to the Cave. Hyaku. Don't move, if they find you. The young man paused before continuing. I'll let go of my hand now, but you have to promise me not to make a sound. Yes, the man with glasses nodded softly, understanding. After the hand was released, he turned around and looked, his mouth wide open in disbelief. He saw a young man in a white casual suit and boots, with a Pikachu on his shoulder. Hello. My name is Niven, and I'm a Pokémon researcher, Niven said, surprised, without introducing himself. Yes. My name is Yu, and I'm a Pokémon trainer. Yu, standing opposite him, responded and introduced himself. As for why Yu was in the cave again, it was because, after winning the gym match, Yu was walking back to King Wu Manor, still struggling to accept the fact that Dratini was Ditto. Suddenly, as if a thought struck him, he grabbed his son's hand and ran towards the cave he had fallen into that morning. Yu, what are you doing? Air was startled by Yu's sudden action. Looking at the hand Yu had grasped, her pretty face flushed, and she began to stutter. Yu, oblivious to the inappropriateness of his actions, excitedly explained, it just occurred to me that Ditto's transformation requires a certain prerequisite. It must have seen a Pokémon it's already seen. Oh, I see, Yu. You mean Ditto has seen Dratini before, or even come into contact with it? Air's eyes lit up, and she continued. You're so clever, Air, Yu praised. But it could also be that it saw a trainer with Dratini, or perhaps the Dratini it saw has already left. Then, as if realizing something, Air posed her doubts to Yu. It's better to believe it than to believe it. Even if there's only a 1 in 1,000 chance, I'm going to see it, Yu said firmly. Oh. You, I really can't do anything about you, then I'll go with you to take a look. Air sighed helplessly, letting Yu hold her little hand, but the blush on her pretty face never faded. When Yu and the others entered the cave and were about to search for the figure of the mini dragon, they suddenly heard chaotic footsteps coming from not far away. At that moment, Yu, as a warrior, hurriedly concentrated his mind and used the warrior's senses of seeing in all directions and hearing in all directions to begin to feel the surrounding environment. From his ears shaking from time to time and his focused expression, it can be seen that Yu was completely immersed in it at the moment. Seeing Yu's actions, Air did not go up to disturb him, but stood aside silently, looking at Yu's gloomy face with some nervousness. A moment later, Yu turned to look at Air, who was standing silently by the side, his face full of solemnity and anger as he said, "Air, go find Miss Junxia and tell her that there is a Pokemon hunter here. Ask her to come quickly. I'll go and buy time first. Please, eh?" Looking at Yu, who had already run away, Air opened his mouth and sighed again, thinking to himself, Yu really likes Pokemon. He will become desperate whenever he encounters trouble with Pokemon. Okay. I can't lose to Yu either. Then a hint of determination flashed in Air's eyes, and he turned and ran in the direction he came from. Along the way, Yu also lowered his footsteps for fear of alarming the group of people. When passing a cave, Yu suddenly found two dark shadows slowly walking towards him. Yu was startled and quickly hid himself. Only after seeing the true identity of the person did he breathe a sigh of relief, but also a bit of surprise, because he saw two ancient Pokemon that were supposed to be extinct, Glacier and Ice Dragon. Upon seeing these two Pokemon, Yu was initially in disbelief and wanted to take out his Pokeball to recapture them, but he held back. He remembered the conversation he had overheard. Yu knew that a group of people were searching for two Pokemon. Now he thought it must be these two. Bing, seeing the sudden appearance of a human, both Pokemon were startled. Ice Dragon hid its head in Ice Dragon's arms, calling out non-stop. Ice Dragon shouted as if to comfort it, but then looked at Yu with a wary look. Don't be nervous, I'm a good person, a very good person. Seeing the wariness in Ice Dragon's eyes, Yu quickly raised his hands to show that he meant no harm. Pikachu, perhaps witnessing his master's predicament, Pikachu leaped from Yu's shoulder and approached the Ice Dragon and his companions, enthusiastically explaining things to Yu. After the alarm in the Ice Dragon's eyes slowly faded, the man and his pet approached the Ice Dragon mother and child. Ice Dragon, don't be afraid. I won't hurt you. Yu reached out and stroked the Ice Dragon's head. Meanwhile, Pikachu chatted with the Ice Dragon, which had already peeked out of the Ice Dragon's embrace and was curiously observing them. Ice Dragon, it's dangerous here. You should find some shelter first. Your friends should still be in there. Yu glanced at the cave behind the Ice Dragon, his eyes flickering as he urged the Ice Dragon mother and child to find a safe place. The Ice Dragon looked at Yu, nodded, then gave a worried cry, appearing hesitant. Let's get out of here. Yu glanced at the cave behind the Ice Dragon again, and then took Pikachu and stepped in without hesitation. Looking at the back figure that had disappeared in the darkness, the Ice Dragon hesitated for a moment, then hid with the Ice Dragon. After entering the cave, Yu walked carefully with Pikachu. Not long after walking, they saw a man with glasses wearing scholar's clothes. Because he was too nervous, he accidentally kicked a stone. The sound quickly attracted the attention of the group of people in black. At this moment, a pair of people were walking towards him. Seeing this, Yu couldn't stand idly by. He tapped the ground with his toes and came quietly behind the man with the glasses. Fearing that he would scream because of his sudden appearance, he covered his mouth. Chapter 38 Heavy Damage. Yu looked helplessly at the man with the glasses, who seemed a little frightened. Is it really that serious? Did I just let you fly suddenly? No. It was really too exciting. I haven't experienced such things in my life. Niven waved his hands with a bitter face. It turned out that Yu saw someone approaching, and there were rock walls all around, so there was no place to hide. He used his internal force to attach to his feet and hands, and pulled Niven to jump onto the undulating stalactites. But because the patrol personnel below were too vigilant, the lights shone upwards from time to time. Yu had to grab Niven and swing from top to bottom to avoid the lights that shone upwards from time to time. This made it difficult for Niven, a researcher who was powerless. I didn't expect you to be so weak. Yu smiled wryly and shook his head, then his expression straightened. Who are those people out there? What's your relationship with the Ice Dragon mother and child? Hearing Yu's question, Niven was silent at first, then spoke softly. I'm a Pokemon researcher, and the Ice Dragon mother and child are the subjects of my observation and research. As for those people out there, they've been saying something about the S organization. The S organization? Yu was a little surprised. He'd assumed they were just ordinary Pokemon hunters, but he hadn't expected them to be from the S organization. He still remembered the group that showed up at the last Ironclad Rhino race. That group was also from the S organization. Yet, Yu, what do you say we do now? Niven looked at the pensive Yu with a bit of a panic. It was clear that because of Yu's presence, Niven had made him the backbone of the team. Let's first, haha, I didn't expect there were 2 little mice left. Yu was interrupted by a gruff voice before he could finish. Yu looked over and saw the middle-aged man called the captain, who was walking towards him, followed by a cannon shrimp. Pikachu on Yu's shoulder immediately jumped down and took a fighting stance. Oh. Interesting, you are also a warrior. Looking at the calm and composed Yu, the captain said with interest. So what if I am? So what if I am not? Yu chuckled. Hey. Boy, you are the first one who dares to talk to me in this tone. You have successfully piqued my interest. Remember my name, Kanglang. Kanglang grinned, but that smile looked a little scary. Huh? Who do you think you are? You actually want me to remember you? Yu snorted disdainfully. That's out of your hands. Shrimp, go ahead, use Bubble Beam. Pikachu, be careful. I think this shrimp is just as powerful as Mr. King Wu's Iron Wall Pistol Shrimp, maybe even stronger. Yu warned Pikachu, then gave the order, Pikachu, use 100,000 volts. Boy, you're still a little naive. Shrimp, use Water Jet. As Pikachu used 100,000 volts to block the bubble beam, the shrimp transformed into a massive stream of water, charging towards Pikachu with unstoppable momentum. Pikachu, dodge, then use Lightning Flash. However, although Pikachu dodged the shrimp's initial water jet and used Lightning Flash, the power disparity between their abilities was so great that Pikachu was sent flying backwards. Pikachu, use Lightning Ball now, Yu commanded, addressing Pikachu, who was flung into the air. Croft, use the water cannon and sweep Pikachu down. A water cannon, as thick as a basin, was fired from the prawn's claws. Not only did it deflect the electric ball directed at it, but it also knocked Pikachu, who had just balanced himself in midair, crashing into the rock wall behind him. Pikachu, are you okay? Yu's eyes were filled with heartache as he watched Pikachu slide down the rock wall. After sliding down, Pikachu supported himself on all fours and stood up again with great difficulty. Looking at the Croft not far away, his eyes were filled with an unyielding fighting spirit. It seemed as if he understood Pikachu's thoughts. Yu couldn't stop it, so he could only grit his teeth and continue to give orders. We have no chance of winning in a head-on fight, so let's win by speed. Pikachu, use high-speed movement to disrupt the opponent. Then take the opportunity to use Iron Tail. Huh? I didn't expect you to have some tricks up your sleeve. Shrimp, use Water Jet once and push it over. What? Seeing this, Yu was surprised at first, then he gritted his teeth, as if he was making a difficult decision, obviously hesitant. Although all this seemed to take a long time, it was only a momentary thought. Yu quickly made up his mind and shouted harshly, if you don't want us to have an easy time, don't even think about having an easy time. Pikachu, use the full strength Volt attack. Pikachu, with traces of lightning all around him, rushed forward with an indomitable momentum and crashed into the shrimp, which was wrapped in water and turned into a thick water column. The collision of water and electricity ignited a puff of white mist. Volt attack was indeed Pikachu's ultimate move, severely damaging even a powerful shrimp. But Pikachu wasn't faring any better either, being sent flying by the aftermath, rendering him incapable of combat. Pikachu, Yu observed, leaping up to catch Pikachu. You're quite skilled, you managed to severely injure my shrimp. Kangling raised an eyebrow, clearly surprised, but his tone still thick with disdain. HMPH. Stop looking down on me. If you give me another year, my Pokemon will surely vanquish you, Yu snorted coldly. Kanglang was arrogant, even more arrogant than him. Haha, there's no such thing as absolute fairness in this world. The winner is king, the loser is a thief. What Pokemon do you have left to fight? After hearing this, Kanglang, far from angry, simply laughed heartily. Yu, what should we do? How about we fight him? Niven, watching from behind, grew even more nervous, yet remained undaunted. Damn it, seeing Kanglang's arrogant face, Yu wanted to release his Pokemon and teach him a lesson. But he couldn't. Not to mention the combat power of his own Pokemon, He couldn't even deal with one of Kanglang's Pokémon, not to mention that he didn't know how many Pokémon he had. Haha. In this world, only the winner has the last laugh. You are still a little naive, as if seeing the concerns in Yu's heart. Kanglang laughed unscrupulously. Well, I don't agree with what you said. The winner should not only have the last laugh, but also the best laugh. Yu's ears moved slightly, and his originally ugly face suddenly turned from cloudy to sunny. What? Chapter 39 Goodbye Jun Shaling. Kanglang was confused by Yu's sudden change of expression. What are you laughing at? Kanglang glared. I'm laughing at you, you're worse than Slowpoke, and you're a master-level warrior, Yu continued sarcastically. What? You thought you'd be tricked by a little brat like you? Kanglang, who felt something was wrong, quickly released his warrior's perception. He was shocked by the feeling. At this moment, not far from their cave, they were surrounded by police. The leader was Yu's sister-in-law, Jun Shaling, and beside her was her son, who looked anxious. Hey. What's up? Do you feel arrogant? Looking at Kanglang's face that was like a Peking opera face changing, Yu smiled calmly, as if everything was under his control. I never thought that after spending all day hunting eagles, one day I'd actually get my eye pecked by one. I admit defeat this time, but you won't be so lucky next time. Let's retreat. Seeing that things were hopeless, Kanglang decisively waved his hand, uttered a harsh word, and withdrew his men in the opposite direction. Huh? Finally gone. Seeing Kanglang and his men leave, Yu breathed a sigh of relief. Immediately, Yu quickly pulled a healing pill from his storage ring and stuffed it into Pikachu's mouth. Yu, are you okay? Xiaoyu, how are you? Jun Shaling and Air arrived. Seeing Yu in the surroundings, which looked a bit damaged from the fierce battle, Jun Shaling and Air asked in unison, expressing their concern. I'm fine, Yu replied, then looked at Jun Shaling with some surprise. Sister Xiaoling, why are you leading the team? Didn't you take your sister to Mire City? Didn't I tell you before that I'd stop by Yaoxiang City on the way? I arrived in Yaoxiang City yesterday, originally planning to come see you in a few days, but I was delayed today because of Miss Sayer's report. I didn't expect to meet you here, Jun Shaling explained with a smile. That's quite a coincidence, it's quite a coincidence. By the way, who were those people just now? It turned out that when Jun Shaling came in, she happened to see Kanglang and his subordinates retreating. They are from the S organization. Their subordinates call the leader the captain. Oh, and his name is Kanglang. Yu's expression became a little solemn when he mentioned Kanglang. What? Kanglang of the S organization? He's one of the 8 captains. Not to mention his personal combat prowess, just look at his Pokémon. He's won several championships in the Kalos region's Pokémon competitions, and with his water Pokémon, he's a tough guy who can rival the Water King. Jun Shaling's face paled when she heard Yu's story. Then, with a touch of shock, she said, you not only severely injured his shrimp, but also forced him to retreat. Seeing Jun Shaling staring at him with shock, Yu scratched the back of his head awkwardly and said awkwardly, it's not as exaggerated as you say. He just underestimated the enemy. Hello, Miss Jun Shang. I'm Niven, a researcher at the Hiruka City Research Institute. Because of that S organization group, our research Pokémon, Ice Dragon and Ice Dragon, have gone into hiding. Could you help me find them? Niven saw that Yu and Miss Jun Shan knew each other, and after chatting for a while, he walked over, clasping his hands together and asking for help. Well, I learned everything from Yu. I will send people to search right away. Jun Shaling saw that it was serious business, and immediately changed her serious face again. Everyone was stunned, thinking that Miss Jun Sha was too amazing. She could change her face at any time. A few hours later, Niven took the Ice Dragon and the Ice Dragon back to the Pokémon Research Institute in Yaoxiang City. Jun Shaling followed Yu back to King Wu's manor. Hey, Yu, you're back. How was the gym competition? When entering the manor, he met King Wu, who was holding a fishing rod and probably went to catch water Pokémon again. Fortunately, although there were some mistakes along the way, I was lucky enough to complete my mission. Yu took out the gym badge of Yaoxiang Gym from the stored ring. Oh, that should be a wonderful duel, King Wu said with a smile. He glanced at Jun Shaling, who was standing next to Yu and Air, and said with surprise, isn't it Miss Jun Shaling? I'm truly honored to have you here, Mr. King Wu, it's been a long time. What are you talking about? It should be my honor to be here, Jun Shaling said with a beautiful smile. Haha, you're still the same girl as before, you haven't changed at all, you're the same, aren't you? They walked and chatted, laughing and talking. Sister Xiaoling, do you two know each other? Mr. King Wu, Yu and the other woman listened to their conversation in bewilderment, their minds full of questions. Finally, Yu couldn't help but ask first. Yes. Mr. King Wu and I have known each other for a long time, Jun Shaling said first. Sister, King Wu caught the sensitive word in Yu's sentence and subconsciously asked with a hint of doubt. Yes. I made Yu my adopted brother, Jun Shaling still chuckled. I never thought it would be such a coincidence that little friend Yu would be the younger brother of a female genius like you, King Wu said generously. Sister Xiaoling is a female genius, Yu said with some confusion and surprise. Yes. You don't know, your sister Xiaoling is amazing. She won the Pokemon League Championship twice as a young genius. King Wu paused, then continued with a look of emotion. Not only that, your sister Xiaoling is also known as the medical and police duo of Joy Masako of the Joy family. That, so amazing, Yu was surprised, turning his head to look at Jun Shaling with a strange look. Perhaps sensing the strange look in Yu's eyes, Jun Shaling nodded slightly and smiled. You're right. The one Mr. King Wu mentioned who was on par with me is none other than your adopted sister Masako. It's a surprise to suddenly have two such amazing adopted sisters. Yeah, Yu nodded blankly, not knowing what to say. Yu and the others chatted all the way to the living room. During this time, Yu learned something even more surprising. It turned out that the captain of the S organization, Kang Lang, whom he had met today, was actually a disciple of Mr. King Wu. Upon hearing this news, Yu was surprised, but also understood why Kang Lang's iron cannon shrimp were so well cultivated. Chapter 40 vs. Jun Shaling. Yu, if I remember correctly, your next challenge should be the Solid Gym in Sala City, King Wu suddenly asked after returning to the living room. Yes. If I hadn't met Sister Xiaoling today, I was planning to leave after challenging the Hiruko Gym this afternoon. The trainer at the Solid Gym is worth your anticipation, King Wu said with a mysterious smile. Worth my anticipation. Okay, I've decided. Let's go now. Yu's eyes lit up, and he immediately stood up from the sofa, ready to rush out. Seeing this, his beloved daughter, who was sitting next to him, immediately followed suit. But he was immediately stopped by Jun Shaling. Seeing Yu, beaming with excitement at the news of a battle, Jun Shaling shook her head, sighed, and said, Stop. It's already dark. Where are you going? Yu, you're such a fool. Just hearing about a battle gets you so excited. And you, too. Yu's antics and you're just following his lead. After the commotion in the cave, the sun had already set, and some families were already preparing dinner. Ah. Is it already dark? I didn't notice, Yu said with a naive look. Bang! Pikachu, who had been perched on Yu's shoulder, slipped and fell after hearing his master's response. Ugh! I'm speechless. Jun Shaling held her forward with one hand, an expression of astonishment. This felt a little embarrassed, crossing her index fingers. And even if you challenged him, you wouldn't be able to defeat him with your current state, Jun Shaling relentlessly attacked. No way. That's so amazing, Yu said in disbelief. Indeed, King Wu added. Don't be so skeptical. The trainer at the Solid Gym could be one of the former 4 Heavenly Masters, and he can even Mega Evolve Lucario, Mega Evolution again. What exactly is this Mega Evolution? Hearing the term Mega Evolution again, Yu frowned, his curiosity about Mega Evolution deepening. Alright. Let's get ready for dinner. It's better for you, Yu, to experience it for yourself, King Wu smiled and waved his hand. Just then, a group of maids arrived, pushing a cart of food. After dinner, watching the Pokemon playing before him, Yu rested his head on the grass, a carefree smile on his face. He loved this kind of life, carefree. Air is right, Yu, you're here after all. Suddenly, a whisper came from behind. It's Sister Xiaoling. Why aren't you staying in the hall chatting with Mr. King Wu? Instead, you've come out. Yu knew it was Jun Shaling without even looking up. Aren't you the same? Jun Shaling sat down next to Yu, looked around, and asked curiously, by the way, why don't I see Air? Air heard about the Sea and Sky Festival in Sala City, and she's practicing for a Pokemon show? Yu yawned, his tone relaxed, as if afraid Jun Shaling wouldn't understand. He continued, Air, she's a Pokemon performer. Sister Xiaoling, Do you know what a Pokémon performer is? Performers and their Pokémon showcase their bond through performances and moves, usually in the form of a joint performance. Seeing Yu's somewhat smug expression, Jun Xiaoling continued before he could finish. After a pause, she added, they also make Pokémon's favorite treat, Pokémon. Sister Xiaoling, you're so annoying. Yu pursed his lips. Miss Junsha, I didn't expect you to know so much about Pokémon performers. Who had gone to practice for a Pokémon show, suddenly appeared out of nowhere and looked at Miss Junsha with a look of curiosity on her face. Miss Junsha was clearly startled by her beloved son's sudden appearance. After a pause, she chuckled and said, no, that's all. I only heard that from my sisters, but Mr. King Wu said you're quite formidable, Sister Xiaoling. How about we have a duel? We'll see how strong I am now. Yu suddenly pushed himself up from the ground, stood up, and looked at Jun Xiaoling. Okay, let me see how strong you are now. And just a reminder, the Growlithe I used last time wasn't mine. I trained it for my sister. Jun Xiaoling readily agreed, reminding Yu. Is that so? Yu paused in thought, then raised his head and said with a firm gaze, I've decided, Sister Xiaoling. You'll battle me with your strongest Pokémon. I want to see how we compare. Okay, no problem. I promise, Jun Xiaoling agreed readily. Then I'll be the referee. King Wu suddenly appeared out of nowhere. Two girls' high-pitched screams rang out, attracting Pikachu and other Pokémon that were playing and frolicking not far away. Yu seemed much calmer, silently covering his ears with his hands. Why don't you despise me, an old man? King Wu looked at the three people, ignoring the two girls' throbbing veins, and said pitifully. No, whatever, as long as you are happy. Okay, both of you stand still. Seeing that both sides had stood still, King Wu continued, now, Yu and Jun Xiaoling will have a one-on-one Pokémon battle. Each side can use only one Pokémon. When one side's Pokémon loses its combat ability, the other side will be the winner. Pikachu, it's decided to be you. Go ahead. Yu sent out Pikachu, who had just run back to his side. Come out. Arcanine. After sending out Arcanine, Jun Xiaoling's demeanor shifted, becoming fierce and stern. Xiao, this Arcanine is my starter Pokémon. Your Pikachu should be careful. I won't show mercy. Pikachu, lightning. Yu responded to Jun Xiaoling's words without words, but with facts. It's no use. Arcanine, use high speed first, then use that to ram. Pikachu, who had launched the attack first, had only taken a few steps when Arcanine caught up. With a fierce charge, the smaller Pikachu was knocked back several meters faster than before. Pikachu, Yu's heart couldn't help but rise at the sight of this. Yu, I said I won't show mercy. Windy Dog, use big word fire. A large word made of flames was condensed and ejected by Windy Dog, gradually growing larger and striking Pikachu. I don't know what's going on now. Chapter 41 Daily Life. Pikachu, Yu's heart leaped into his throat. But no matter how much Yu shouted, the flaming blast wouldn't stop, striking Pikachu. The flaming blast's power was so immense that it sent plumes of black smoke billowing into the air. Pikachu, Yu, feeling a pang of self-reproach, was about to charge. But a figure bursting out from the black smoke stopped him in his tracks. Just as the flaming blast was about to strike Pikachu, Pikachu had used its tail as a spring to launch itself upwards. Then, as it landed, it used high-speed movement to reduce the impact of the blast. While this seemingly simple move drained Pikachu's energy, Pikachu was panting heavily, yet its gaze towards Arcanine was still filled with indomitable fighting spirit. Pikachu, can you still fight? Yu asked, a little concerned. After all, the level difference between Pikachu and Arcanine was too great. They weren't even on the same level. Pikachu called out with a powerful voice. Seeing his master still seemed unconvinced, he grew anxious. He ignored the nearby Arcanine and stood up, turning to look at Yu. He waved his short arms and patted his chest, as if to say, I can still fight. Master, you must believe me, okay, Pikachu? Let's have a good fight today. Seeing Pikachu's reaction, Yu suppressed his worry and laughed heartily. No use, Arcanine, use bite. Pikachu, use Iron Tail. Undeterred by the Iron Tail's charge, Arcanine opened its jaws and bit down on it. What? Pikachu and Yu were both stunned, a little disbelieving. Pikachu's Iron Tail had been broken just like that. Hyperwind, throw Pikachu up, then use Flare again. But Hyperwind and Jun Shaling didn't give Pikachu any time to be surprised. Hyperwind bit Pikachu's tail and tossed it upward with all its might. I won't let you succeed. Pikachu, use Lightning Ball. A ball of lightning condensed on Pikachu's tail and exploded directly into Hyperwind's mouth before Hyperwind could react. Hyperwind let out a painful cry, releasing its grip on Pikachu's tail. Although Hyperwind was slightly injured by Pikachu's surprise attack, it remained calm. In a few steps, it distanced itself from Pikachu and resumed its fighting stance. It's time to end the battle. Hyperwind, use Flare Charge. Pikachu, use Volt Attack. The two Pokémon, one engulfed in lightning, the other in flames, closed in on each other at a breakneck speed. The collision of electricity and fire sent sparks flying, sparks that exploded in the air. Pikachu, finally, outmatched by power, Pikachu was tossed aside by Windy, landing on the grass nearby, incapacitated. Pikachu is incapacitated, Windy wins, referee King Wu announced at the perfect moment. Watching Windy, who had collided with Pikachu's Volt Attack and returned to Jun Shaling unharmed, acting coquettishly, Yu clenched his fists. His sister's Windy was simply too powerful. His own Pikachu's ultimate, despite its lack of attribute restrained, countered Windy's ultimate, yet it barely caused any damage, leaving him incapacitated. But this is what makes it fun. I'll definitely overcome this mountain of a sister, Yu thought silently, a smile playing on his lips. Jun Shaling, watching silently from the opposite side, saw this. Her delicate face, softened by the battle, broke into a dazzling smile. Sister Xiaoling, I lost this time. But I'll capture a Windy Dog later, and I'll use it to defeat your Windy Dog. Yu suddenly shouted, picking up the injured Pikachu and looking at Jun Shaling. I'm waiting for that day to come, Jun Shaling whispered to herself as she watched Yu carrying Pikachu into the room. The next morning, Yu and Air finished breakfast, packed their luggage, and set off from King Wu's manor. Now, inside King Wu's manor, alright, Mr. King Wu, I'll take my leave now. Please stop, Jun Shaling saluted King Wu from her seat on the police motorcycle. Well, be careful on your way. And make sure you bring that thing back to your grandma. Don't forget, King Wu, at this moment, no longer had the demeanor of a water-based master, he looked like a nagging old man. Jun Shaling held her forward in her hand. Mr. King Wu had been nagging her since dinner, and it hadn't stopped. Okay, I'll definitely hand that proposal to my grandma. I have something else to do, so I'll leave now, Alice. I haven't finished yet. This kid is really, just like Xiaoyi, so annoying. King Wu was a little annoyed as he watched the motorcycle getting farther and farther away. Time divider, Yu, there's a stream nearby. Let's rest there for a while, okay? After leaving King Wu's manor, Yu and Air, after several days of travel, arrived at a stream and began to set up camp. Everyone come out, bang, bang, bang. Several flashes of red light appeared, and Rocket Sparrow, Ditto, and Golden Carp appeared in the field of vision. Come out too, Firefox. Air, unwilling to be left behind, saw Yu release both Magikarp and Magikarp, and picked up another Pokeball and tossed it out. There's a stream right here, so come out and exercise, ugly. Air, I see your berries are almost out. I'll go get you some more. You stay here and practice your Pokemon show. Seeing Air tinkering with more berries from her space backpack, Yu spoke up, a rare gesture. Well, that's fine. Yu will trouble you then. Air hesitated, but finally agreed with a smile. Haha. It's okay. After all, you've taken care of me so much before. This time, I'll help you. Yu smiled brightly, then called over Pikachu, who was playing with other Pokemon by the stream. Rocket Sparrow, you guys stay here and see if you can help Air, Yu instructed, looking at the other Pokemon. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 42 Taunting. Pikachu, let's go to the hill opposite. Yu pointed to a small hill not far away. Pikachu called out a few times, then, seeing Yu coming, began to dance adorably. Oh. Yeah, so that's it. Yu nodded occasionally as he looked. Finally, with a look of sudden realization on his face, He clenched his right fist and hammered it against his left palm. Pikachu, are you saying that rushing like this is too boring? You want to have a speed race with me to see who can reach the top of the hill first, Pikachu nodded enthusiastically. Is that so? Yu touched his chin with his hand, pretending to be thinking. When Pikachu wasn't paying attention, he shouted, "Okay, I accept your challenge. Ready, go." Without waiting for Pikachu to react, Yu pushed off the ground with both feet and shot out like the wind. Pikachu was stunned, his voice grumbling, Is this still my master? How shameless, even betraying his own Pokémon?" But despite his complaints, Pikachu quickly used his high-speed movement to catch up. Let's not talk about Yu and Pikachu's match for now, let's talk about Air. At the camp stream, Air was beginning to practice Pokémon performances with Charmeleon. Charmeleon, use Fire Whirl first, then Illusion Ray. Air's expression turned serious as she gazed at the swirling flames before her, bathed in a dazzling display of color. Charmeleon, use Sparks now. Ditto and Rocket, who were playing nearby, were stunned by the scene, which seemed to rain down fire. Even Magikarp, who is always active in the water, had forgotten to use Splash. Not far from the golden Magikarp, a small fish with speckled spots on its body watched the scene with a twinkling look of envy. It was none other than Air's Pokémon, the shrimp. At that moment, the shrimp wished desperately that it were a fiery fox, able to perform alongside its master and attract everyone's attention. However, due to its ugliness, it dared not show off. Feeling inferior, it could only watch silently from the corner, desperately hoping its master would notice it. Sadly, the shrimp's wish was doomed to fail. Air was completely absorbed in the Pokémon show, oblivious to the shrimp's presence nearby. Suddenly, a burst of applause interrupted Air's performance. "You must be a Pokémon performer too." Air looked in the direction the voice came from. She saw a stylishly dressed woman in a straw hat and high-heeled sandals, striding proudly towards her. Accompanying her were a purple Pixie and a blue Vulpix. Two shiny Pokémon? Air noticed the two shiny Pokémon accompanying the woman. "Hey, I'm talking to you." Air frowned at the woman's arrogant attitude, but politely replied, "Yes, I'm Air, and I'm a Pokémon performer. May I ask who you are?" "My name is Jinghua, and I'm also a Pokémon performer." Jinghua introduced herself, her tone still full of pride. "I just saw your performance. It was pretty good. How about we compete?" "Not interested. If you don't have anything else to do, please move aside. I need to do some Pokémon performance training." Her arrogant attitude made Air feel a little uncomfortable, and he refused. Then, regardless of Jinghua's somewhat irritated expression, he returned to the clearing at the camp and, unconcerned with the others, began his Pokémon performance with Fiery Fox. HMPH. Damn it. No one can resist me. Jinghua snorted coldly at this. Then ordered the two Pokémon at her feet. Pixie, use Finger Swing. Vulpix, use Flame Jet. Divino, Rocket, Ditto and Rocket, playing not far from Air, always remembered their master's instructions. Seeing someone dare to order Pokémon to attack the beloved daughter, or so Yu's Pokémon believed, they were told to protect, they immediately became furious. Ditto, looking at the foam beams conjured by Finger Swing, ignored them and transformed directly into the baby Tyrannosaurus from its previous battle. Using its dragon tail, it swept away the foam beams directed at Air. Rocket was also not idle, flapping its wings and unleashing a fierce gust of wind, intercepting the flames directed at Air. Damn it. Pixie, get on with it. Use Finger Swirl. Vulpix, Flame Whirlpool. Crystal Flower was immediately enraged. Before her son could react, she ordered Pixie and Vulpix to attack again. This time, Pixie's Finger Swirl was quite respectful, using Dragon's Fury. Seeing the incoming Dragon's Fury, Ditto took it seriously and immediately used the Rock-type Pokémon's ultimate move, Rock Seal. Elsewhere, Rocket Sparrow used Spin, first dodging Vulpix's Flame Whirlpool, then suddenly appearing behind Vulpix. Before Vulpix and Crystal Flower could react, a single collision instantly incapacitated Vulpix. Rock Seal, a true Rock-type Pokémon ultimate, not only blocked the incoming Dragon's Fury, but the aftermath of the impact sent Pixie flying. Circles formed in her eyes, rendering her incapacitated. While it seemed like a long moment, it was only a moment. By the time Air had fully recovered, only Yu and her Pokémon were left standing. Is this how you treat guests? Jinghua, seeing all her Pokémon incapacitated, grew even more enraged. She taunted, "As true as your master, you'll get your Pokémon. How rude, ouch! And you're using that hideously ugly Pokémon? Don't tell me she's yours, too." Jingho glanced, as if suddenly realizing something. She pointed at Air's uglifish in the water, her tone growing even more arrogant. The uglifish, already distressed by the remark, felt even more downhearted, diving underwater. "Ouch! Whose mouth stinks so bad? I can smell it from way off," a sudden, frivolous voice echoed from nearby. Chapter 43, Melodic. Hearing a voice from behind, Jingho became even more furious. "You?" She turned around and was about to curse when she saw a young man in a white shirt and pants, walking towards her leisurely with a Pikachu. HMPH. I thought he was someone else, but it turns out to be just a pretty boy. Jingho raised her head proudly, glancing at Yu with disdain, her tone still thick with disdain. "Air, what happened? Why is there an unreasonable girl here?" Yu didn't get angry. As he passed by Jingho, he didn't even glance at her. He walked straight up to Air and asked in confusion. You rude boy." Jingho was furious. She had never seen such a rude boy before. In the past, boys either tried to show off in front of her or tried to please her. Yu was the first one who dared to scold her and then ignored her. How could the proud Jingho not be angry? "I don't know. Let her tell her." Air recounted the whole story to Yu. Looks like a spoiled young lady who's been overindulged. After hearing Air's story, Yu couldn't help but label Jingho as a willful and capricious young lady. Since Jingho has this kind of personality, Air, why don't you challenge her to a duel? Seeing Jingho's determination to stay put if Air challenged her, Yu couldn't help but feel a bit worried. He couldn't use force to drive away such a delicate girl, could he? Then, with some anticipation, he said, "I'm also curious about what a Pokemon show is like. I've been hearing you talk about it, Air, but I've never seen one before." After saying this, he put on a pitiful look and looked at Air. "Okay then." Seeing Yu's expression, Air felt a little embarrassed to refuse. "Jingho, I accept your challenge, but I don't want to win unfairly. So, how about this? You go to the Pokemon Center and get your Pokemon healed first. We'll be camping here for the next few days." Air came to Jingho, not far away, and said seriously. "Okay. I promise, I'll come see you in 2 days." Air's sincere expression was reflected in her clear eyes. Jingho pursed her lips, then said in a stuttering, mosquito-like voice, I'm sorry." Then, she retracted Pixie and Vulpix and hurried away. What did she say? Air muttered softly. Because the voice was so soft, Air couldn't hear clearly. She just said sorry. Air couldn't hear clearly because her voice was too soft. But as a warrior, Yu's senses were extremely sharp, so he naturally heard Jingho's apology clearly and couldn't help but sigh inwardly. It seems she's not so bad after all, huh? Air was stunned by Yu's reminder. It seemed she hadn't expected Jingho, who had just been so stubborn, to say such an apology. Time passed, and the 2 days until the agreed date were almost up. During this time, something surprising happened. Although Air's perception of Jingho had changed after Jingho left that day, her previous words about the ugly fish pierced her heart like a thorn. It was then, seeing the ugly fish's slightly inferior expression, that Air realized how little time she had spent with it since she had subdued it. Suddenly, Air couldn't help but think of an earlier incident, that time, when Yu had just subdued the Golden Carp King. When watching Yu training the Golden Magikarp, Air asked in some confusion, Yu, why do you want to train the Golden Magikarp? Although it is a shiny Pokemon, the Magikarp is still a Golden Magikarp after all. No matter how much training, its combat power is still so low. Hearing Air's question, Yu stopped what he was doing, and his clear eyes looked straight at Air. Air, I don't know how you train Pokemon, and I don't know what your definition of Pokemon is. Then, Yu's expression became very serious and he said, but for me, Pokemon are not just Pokemon. They have always been by my side when I was most helpless, caring about me, helping me, and making me happy. They are more like my friends and family. Air was moved by Yu's words, and his mouth opened slightly, his eyes full of surprise. He didn't expect Yu, who always had a smile on his face, to say such sad words. And, since you've captured them, you have an obligation to train them, regardless of their strength. That's the responsibility of a Pokemon trainer, isn't it? Seeing Air's lack of reaction, Yu continued. The way Yu smiled as he spoke was deeply imprinted in Air's mind. After Jinghua's antics, Air realized she had neglected Squirtle too much and wasn't doing her job as a trainer enough. So, over the next few days, Air stayed constantly by Squirtle's side, and of course, she didn't favor one over the other. Firefox also followed suit. Perhaps it was Air's sudden attention that warmed Squirtle's heart, and it glowed white. It evolved. You're right, seeing the red eyes, the long head with a slight protrusion at the end, the red eyebrows extending from above the eyes to the outer fur, the red hair-like fins covering the sides of its head, and the tail covered in blue and pink scales with black stripes. It was a delightful sight. This was Air's sole thought as she watched the Pokémon, whose tail was shaped like a fan, with 4 large blue scales overlapping and a red dot in the center, form a fan-like shape. Great, Melodic, you're now one of the most beautiful Pokémon. Please take good care of me, Air said with a cheerful smile. Congratulations, Air. You can perform on stage with Melodic someday, Yu congratulated her. Yes. Thank you, Yu, Minnie, Miina, okay. Melodic, while we still have time, let's rehearse. We must surprise Jinghua, who looked down on you. Air clenched her fist and waved it, her face brimming with excitement. Seeing Air so full of fighting spirit, Yu couldn't help but feel a surge of excitement and anticipation. Air immediately set to work, training with the newly evolved Melodic under the setting sun. Unbeknownst to Air, Yu, not far away, was capturing the scene with his brush. Chapter 44, Corny. Yu, look, we're just up ahead at Sala City, yet. Let's hurry up and head to the Pokémon Center to rest and relax. Then, let's challenge my gym match in your Pokémon show. Yu looked in the direction Air pointed and saw many tall buildings, which made him excited. After several days of traveling, Yu and Air finally arrived at the outskirts of Sala City. The Pokémon show competition between Air and Jinghua ended in a draw, much to Yu's surprise. Although Yu didn't know much about Pokémon show, he was confident in Air's skills. He was surprised to find that Jinghua, the willful and capricious young lady, actually possessed skills that even Air had to admit. Of course, Jinghua was immediately captivated when she saw Melodica. Upon learning that Melodica was the evolution of the Uglyfish he had previously mocked, her beautiful eyes nearly popped out in disbelief. Yu couldn't stop remembering this hilarious scene. Half an hour later, Yu and Air finally arrived in Sala City. We're finally in Sala City. Air, let's go to the Pokémon store first, then we can go shopping, Yu said with a smile. Pikachu on Yu's shoulder cried out happily, waving its arms. Yet, Air also smiled sweetly. Pokémon Center. Sister Joy, I'll trouble you with Pikachu and the others first. Yu handed Pikachu and several Pokéballs to Miss Joy. Miss Joy, I'm also leaving my Fiendish and Melodica in your care, Air said politely. Okay. Chandler, come here. Miss Joy called Chandler over and took Pikachu and the others to the treatment room. Then, she took out 2 keys and handed them to Yu and Air. Here are your room keys. If you need anything, come see me at the front desk. Miss Joy smiled a sweet, gentle smile that seemed to heal anyone's heart. Thank you, Sister Joy. Thank you, Miss Joy. Yu and Air took the keys, thanked Miss Joy, and then followed the room numbers on the keys to find their respective rooms. Oh. This big, soft bed is so comfortable. I don't want to move after lying down like this. After arriving at the room, Yu's first action was to throw herself onto the soft bed. Before she knew it, a wave of sleepiness had overtaken her, and she drifted off to sleep. The sun was setting, and it was evening. A knock on the door startled Yu, who had been asleep since the afternoon. Who is it? Yu asked drowsily, opening the door with sleepy eyes. Yu, you're such a fool. We agreed to go out together, but you ended up sleeping all afternoon. Seeing the door open, Air, clutching Pikachu in her arms, complained. I slept for so long. Sorry. Looking at the gradually darkening sky outside, Yu scratched his head sheepishly and apologized. Then, as if struck by a thought, Yu slapped his forehead. Air, why don't we go out together tonight? I heard there's a Pokémon tournament going on downtown in Sala City tonight. It's perfect for us to join in the fun, HMPH. I think you're going to the Pokémon tournament downtown, Air frowned, somewhat speechless. How could that be? As expected of Air, you figured it out. Yu rubbed the back of his head awkwardly, chuckling. After dinner, Yu took Air to the city center. He watched the gradually lit streetlights, the bustling crowds of pedestrians, and the cries of vendors nearby. Most people were browsing the shops with their Pokémon, strolling leisurely through the bustling streets, or playing with their Pokémon. Everywhere was filled with laughter and joy. Wow! So lively, Yu exclaimed, taking in the bustling scene before him. Yet, this Pasuo city is much busier than any other city. Hey! You must be from out of town. The reason Pasuo city is so lively tonight is because it's the annual Pokémon Festival. A female voice suddenly rang out from behind Yu and Air. Looking in the direction of the voice, they saw a girl in red and white clothes, with beige hair, a roller skate helmet with long hair sticking out from it, and roller skates on her feet. She had appeared beside them out of nowhere, accompanied by a Pokémon with a dog's head and a human body, Rilu. Seeing Yu and Air coming over, the girl hurriedly introduced, "Hello, my name is Corny. This is my partner, Rilu, Leo, hello. I'm Yu, and this is Air, Pika. After the introductions, Yu learned from Corny that this so-called festival was essentially a city-wide Pokémon competition, with the top 3 finishers receiving government-funded prizes. Everyone was welcome to participate. So, Corny, you're here to participate in the Pokémon competition, too, of course. I heard the prizes for the top 3 this year are pretty generous. Well, I want to participate too. Could you please sign me up as well?" Yu suddenly felt a little embarrassed. After all, he and Corny had only known each other for a short time, and he was already asking someone else for help. No problem, Corny readily accepted. "So, Yu, you've got another competitor," Air chuckled softly under her hand. "What's the big deal? I'm not sure there aren't enough people," Yu said nonchalantly. "Yu, I won't show any mercy," Corny said confidently. "I couldn't ask for more. Then if we meet, let's both give it our all." "That's exactly what I meant." Corny then took Rilu to the registration office to fill out the forms. Of course, she also helped Yu register. As time passed, the registration process drew to a close. "Haha, Air, you know what? I'm getting a little excited right now." Yu looked at the battle arena in the center of the field, his eyes blazing with fighting spirit. His body trembled slightly, as this was his first time participating in a large-scale Pokémon competition. Chapter 45 Corny vs Yan Yi. In the heart of Sala City, a fierce Pokémon battle was underway. Gothorcid, incapacitated. Congratulations to Yu for victory. Nidorino, incapacitated. Congratulations to Corny for victory. Bulbasaur, incapacitated. Congratulations to Xiaozin for victory. Cotarath, incapacitated. Congratulations to Yu for victory. Sandsunderless, incapacitated. Congratulations to Yanyi for victory. The match had barely begun, and the battle entered a frenzy of eliminations. With the elimination of one contestant, the Sala City Pokémon battle entered a stalemate. "Ah! Such an intense battle," Air exclaimed, watching the Pokémon battle before her. "Yet, I didn't expect this year's Pokémon battle to be this intense. In just half an hour, over half the contestants have already been eliminated." Corny, standing nearby, arms folded, watching the battle, nodded and looked at Yu, who was standing on Air's other side. Yet, Yu nodded in agreement. Suddenly, his eyes flashed, and he looked around as if searching for someone. "Hey! Yan Yi and the others are here too." Yu had just heard the referee's announcement, and only then did he spot Yan Yi, Xiaozin, and the others in the crowd. "Hey! Yu, it's been a long time." Yan Rong, who had also spotted Yu and Air, greeted Yu with his group. "Long time no see, Yan Rong. I didn't expect you to be participating in the Pokémon battle in Sala City." "Yes. We arrived in Sala City a few days ago. After learning that the Pokémon battle was going to be held today, we stayed here until the battle started." Yan Rong then turned his gaze to Corny, who was still watching the battle, and asked curiously, "Hey, is this lady our new travel companion?" "No. Her name is Corny, and the Rilu next to her is her Pokémon. We just met," Yu introduced. "Air, my dear sister, it's been so long. Have you missed me?" At this moment, Xiaozin suddenly jumped out, seeing Air's excited face. Of course, no, Air was also happy to see her brother, but after hearing Xiaozin's words, Air stuck out her pink tongue and said mischievously, looking very cute, "Yu, I've become stronger recently. Let's have another competition someday. This time, I will definitely pin you to the ground and beat you." Ignoring the heartbroken Xiaozin, Yanyu walked straight past him, looking at Yu with a fighting look in his eyes. Oh. Really? I'm so happy. You're not the only one who can become stronger. Don't let me pin you to the ground and beat you. Yu raised an eyebrow, and although Yanyu's eyes were also filled with fighting spirit, he couldn't help but tease. As time passed, the match began to enter a stalemate. Alright. After the intense elimination rounds, we're now announcing the final 4 players. They are Xiaozhi, Yu, Kearney, and Yan Yi. Now, please invite the 4 contestants to come up and draw their opponents. As the referee finished his announcement, Yu and his group approached the drawing area. Now, the results of the draw will be announced. Yu will face Xiaozhi, and Kearney will face Yan Yi, the referee announced. Yu, don't lose so soon. I'm still waiting to defeat you myself and avenge my previous defeat. Yan Yi looked at Yu and teased. You are the one. Don't be eliminated before you even see me. Yu was also unwilling to be left behind. From now on, the Pokémon of Kearney and Yan Yi will fight against each other. They can use 3 Pokémon. When the Pokémon of one side lose their combat ability, the other side wins. The referee first introduced the rules, and then waved the flag in his hand. The game begins. It's time. Twin-tailed monster, go. Masana. Twin-tailed monster takes the initiative and uses high-speed star. Masana, avoid and use force. Twin-tailed monster, use 2 consecutive attacks. Bang! Masana's force was blocked by twin-tailed monster's 2 consecutive attacks. Not only that, because it was a continuous attack, Masana was slapped away by twin-tailed monster. You have a way. Masana, use meditation, that won't go your way. Twin-tailed monster hand, use crazy grabbing. Seeing the twin-tailed monster hand approaching Masana, Kearney showed no sign of anxiety and calmly gave the order. Masana, use telekinesis now. Just as the twin-tailed monster hand was just a few centimeters away from striking Masana, a blue light suddenly appeared and enveloped it, preventing it from advancing an inch and remaining suspended in mid-air just a few centimeters from Masana. Well done, Masana, just throw the twin-tailed monster hand away like this. Kearney excitedly waved her fists in the air. Twin-tailed monster hand, break free quickly, Yan Yi ordered hastily. Wow. I didn't expect Kearney to be so powerful. She can actually make my little brother so anxious and helpless. Yan Rong, sitting in the audience, couldn't help but sigh inwardly when he saw this scene. What a shame. No matter how anxious Yan Yi was, or how much the twin-tailed dagger struggled, Masana still hurled it into the air. Masana, press on. Use Eye of the Heart, then a flying knee. Masana used Eye of the Heart, quickly locking onto the rapidly falling twin-tailed dagger. Using his legs for leverage, he slammed down onto the ground, shooting towards the twin-tailed dagger like an arrow from a bow. Twin-tailed dagger, use speed star in mid-air. It's no use. What? Yan Yi was startled, his eyes fixed on Masana. Masana didn't disappoint Yu either. He ignored the speed star hitting him and, with unwavering momentum, launched a flying knee into the air, sending the still falling twin-tailed dagger flying once more. Bang! Twin-tailed dagger is incapacitated. Contestant Yan Yi, please send out your next Pokémon, the referee announced as the twin-tailed dagger fell, raising a cloud of dust. Thank you for your hard work, twin-tailed Strangehund. Take a good rest in your Pokéball. Yan Yi retracted twin-tailed Strangehund and took out another Pokéball from his body and threw it. Go. It's your turn. Chapter 46 Ace vs Ace. Go. It's your turn, Pidgeot. Yan Yi sent out a new Pokémon. This move depends on how you dodge it. Pidgeot, use Fierce Blast. Before Kearney could say anything, Yan Yi gave the order first. Masana, use telekinesis to block it. Kearney waved her clenched pink fist and gave the order. Pidgeot, while you have time, use Lightning Flash. When Yan Yi gave the attack order, no one noticed that his fingers, which were swung out for the command, actually moved left and right twice in a regular pattern. When Masana just used telekinesis to resist Fierce Blast, Pidgeot also seized the opportunity and immediately used Lightning Flash when Yan Yi gave the order. HMPH. You're underestimating Masana. Seeing this, Kearney wasn't nervous at all. Instead, her lips curled up slightly, revealing a beautiful arc. Masana, keep using your telekinesis and don't stop. Control Pidgeot for me, haha. Really? Miss Kearney, I don't underestimate any Pokémon, do I? As Yan Yi finished speaking, Pidgeot suddenly disappeared. What? Masana, use. Kearney was shocked by this scene. But before she could give the order, Mashana was incapacitated by Pidgeot, which had appeared from nowhere behind her and used its beak attack. After all, Mashana had first fought with a twin-tailed manipulator and then was hit by Pidgeot's spin attack. With a powerful attack, it was natural for it to lose the battle. Well, it's the turning attack, but when did you? Corny suddenly seemed to think of something and exclaimed, could it be at that time? It seems I still underestimated you. After the exclamation, she chuckled and sent out the next Pokemon. It's your turn, Ironclad, Pichu. I was right, you really only have fighting-type Pokemon? Seeing Corny send out Ironclad, Yanyu couldn't help laughing and said, I'm really sorry, I'm sure to win this one. Pidgeot, use Fierce Blast. Oh. So confident. That's not necessarily true. Corny pretended to be surprised, and then ordered, Ironclad, don't worry about Fierce Blast, just use Rockfall. Ironclad used the Rockfall skill, and pieces of stone, like cannonballs, hit Pidgeot, who was using Rockfall in midair. Pippi, use Shadow Clone to dodge. No use. Iron Bone, keep using Rockfall. At first, thanks to Shadow Clone, Pippi was able to dodge with ease, but later, due to the depletion of energy and the reduction in clones, Pippi dodged left and right, looking extremely embarrassed. This can't go on. I must find a way to break through the Iron Bone's Rockfall, Yanyu thought to himself, and suddenly his vision lit up. Pippi, use Lightning Flash to create distance, then use Spin Attack. Pippi following Yanyu's command, Pippi unleashed a series of skills, finally breaking through the Iron Bone's Rockfall and appearing behind it. Oh great, Yanyu breathed a sigh of relief, a confident smile on his face. However, he didn't know that he was smiling at Corny, and the corners of his eyes curled slightly, revealing the smile of a man who had succeeded in his cunning plan. Iron Bone Earthman, use the slap attack behind you, Iron Bone. Upon hearing the command, the Iron Bone Earthman roared, grabbed the building materials, and swung them fiercely behind him. Bang! Before the Pidgeot could even get close to the Iron Bone Earthman, it was struck by the building materials. Pidgeot, incapacitated, the referee glanced at the motionless Pidgeot, then pronounced, it looks like Yanyu is going to be in for a tough fight. Yu, who was watching the match from a distance, said, his face filled with solemnity. I didn't expect that girl named Kearney to be so powerful. Xiao isn't in for a tough fight, he's being outmatched. Yan Rong, who was standing next to Yu, heard Yu's words and, instead of refutation, gave a surprising response. This girl is truly formidable. It's just that she lacks combat experience. Otherwise, Yanyu would have been defeated long ago. Xiao Xin nodded in agreement. Back to the battlefield. It's your turn, my friend, Onyx. Yanyu finally unleashed his trump card. Your Onyx is powerful, but I will still win this match. With a slightly focused gaze, Corny ordered, Iron Bone, use Wake Up Slap. Onyx, use Iron Tail to block. Iron Bone, use Rockfall. Onyx, use Earthquake. What? Onyx's Earthquake caused Iron Bone, who was originally using Rockfall, to lose his balance and miss. Onyx, good opportunity to use Bind. Iron Bone, break free quickly and use Explosive Fist. Onyx, don't let him succeed. Use Burrow and carry him underground. Despite Corny's orders, Onyx's speed meant that Iron Bone was dragged into the ground just as he was about to unleash his skill. Onyx's furious roar echoed from the ground. At that moment, Iron Bone, still bound by Onyx, remained capable of fighting, but was battered and bruised. Iron Bone, Corn called out, somewhat worriedly. It's not over yet. Onyx, use Stealth Rock. What? Iron Bone, use Endurance. Corn was shocked, and then she had no choice but to make a desperate move. Victory or failure depended on this one move. But Iron Bone, ultimately lacking stamina, was unable to withstand Onyx's iron bonds, and was consequently rendered incapable of fighting. Come back. Iron Bone, you've done well, Corn reassuredly, looking at the Pokeball after retrieving Iron Bone. She then randomly dispatched her ace Pokemon, Riolu, who had always stood by her side. Riolu, freshly introduced, was immediately affected by Stealth Rock. Riolu, use Noise, then Power. Corn ignored the warning and issued a decisive order. Onyx, let's use Noise first. Then use Dig Burrow. Riolu, don't let Onyx go into the ground. Use Lightning Flash to stop it. Please collect, recommend, comment, give 5-star praise, all kinds of requests. Chapter 47 Anti-Alliance. Leo, Riolu yelled, and before Onyx could react, he appeared in a flash of white light, Approaching it, he swung his fist and slammed it down on Onyx's hard body. Boom! With a resounding thud, Onyx, unable to withstand Rylu's force, retreated backward. Excellent effect. How is it going, Yan Yi? Want to keep going? Corny chuckled, seeing Rylu gaining the upper hand. HMPH. You're still 10,000 years away, Yan Yi gritted his teeth. Though he knew his chances of winning were slim, his inner pride kept him going. Onyx, use Rock Seal. Rylu, use Power Punch to counter. Facing the oncoming rocks, Rylu quickly took up position, dodging and shattering any that threatened to reach him with Power Punch. Onyx, use Harden first, then use Self-Sacrifice Charge. Looking at Rylu who was approaching Onyx at full speed, Yan Yi finally gritted his teeth and gave the order. Oh. You're not going to resist. Well, to show my respect for you, Rylu will do this and use the full strength enhanced punch. Korn raised her clenched fist. Onyx's huge body, with an indomitable momentum, crashed into Rylu who was running towards it. Bang! With the sound of a huge collision, Rylu's body flew backwards, and Onyx, perhaps because of the restrained attributes, after holding on for a while, its huge body fell to the ground directly, losing its combat ability. Onyx has lost its combat ability, and the winner is Korn, the referee announced. What are you trying to do? Hand over the Starstone, and I'll spare your lives. Otherwise, don't blame us for a bloody massacre. We had no idea, sir. The competition is just ahead. Please stop immediately. Leave this place, or we'll use force. Suddenly, a commotion behind them caused Yu and Xiaozin, who were about to enter the arena, to pause and look back. They saw a chaotic scene on the field. Several middle-aged men in black suits, ignoring Miss Junsh's attempts to stop them, marched forward, heading directly towards where Yu and the others were. Seeing the aggressive group, Xiaozin, who was halfway there, hurried back to his son and pulled him behind him. Hand over the Starstone. I don't want to cause any more trouble, one of the men, seemingly the leader, said sinisterly, looking at Miss Junsha standing at the front of the crowd. The Starstone is the prize for this competition. We have no right to hand it over. Miss Junsha spoke kindly at first, but seeing that the men in suits showed no sign of retreating, her tone intensified. Sir, if you don't leave, we will use force to subdue you. Come out, Arcanine. Use Flamethrower. Miss Junsha sent out Arcanine. HMPH, you're so good. Go ahead, Raiden. The middle-aged man in the lead snorted disdainfully and sent out Raiden. Immediately following, the police officers and the men in suits sent out their Pokémon. The scene was momentarily chaotic, a cacophony of shouting and the sounds of Pokémon fighting. Air, are you okay? Yu had rushed back to Air's side, looking at her nervously and asking with concern. The crowd had been so tight that even Yu, who was skilled in fighting, had only just joined Air and the others. What's going on? Corny asked curiously. I don't know, Xiaozin shook her head. It's definitely not a good thing. Yu paused, and seeing Air and the others looking at him, he calmly analyzed. Logically, if something like this happened, shouldn't the gym trainers show up to stop it? And yet, the gym trainer from the solid gym hasn't shown up yet, which proves he's probably in trouble. Yet, Yu is right. Yanrong nodded in agreement. Suddenly, his gaze sharpened, and he pointed at the Pokémon fighting in the melee. Oh no. Those police officers' Pokémon are almost overwhelmed, then let's all go up and help. There's strength in numbers. Air, who had been silent, suddenly spoke up. Xiaozin was stunned, and the others all looked at her. After all, although they had considered going up to help, they didn't because they were afraid of disturbing others. Air is right, let's go help. Yu was the first to agree. He called to Pikachu, who was standing at his feet, and headed straight for the melee area. Let's go, Pikachu. Let's go help, Pika. Pikachu responded, following closely behind Yu. Yu, wait for me, we'll go together. Air's eyes sparkled as he watched the two of them, and he ran up as well. Yanrong and his group were left staring at each other in shock. Finally, Xiaozin was the first to chase after them, shouting, Hey! Air, wait for me, let's go up and help too. Yanrong followed closely. Damn it. I didn't expect Junsha's Arcanine to be so formidable. The middle-aged man in the lead looked at the stalemate between Raiden and Arcanine, his eyes cold. I originally wanted to spare your life because you're a member of the Junsha family. But you're so ignorant of the situation, so I can't blame you. Remember, the one who killed you is Ghost Hand of the Anti-Alliance. With that, The middle-aged man named Ghost Hand rushed towards Miss Junsha, who was still somewhat unaware. He flipped his palm, and a gleaming dagger appeared in his hand, swinging it towards Miss Junsha. Miss Junsha was initially panicked by the gleaming dagger, but quickly recovered. Seeing the dagger coming towards her, Miss Junsha assumed a grappling stance, ready to subdue Ghost Hand. But she still underestimated Ghost Hand. With a slight shake of his hand, Ghost Hand knocked Miss Junsha's hand away, and then with another whip kick, Miss Junsha was sent flying backwards. HMPH. With your mediocre skills, you still want to subdue me? I'm a martial artist, Ghost Hand snorted disdainfully. Adhering to the principle of strike while you're weak, Ghost Hand, dagger in hand, advanced, aiming the dagger straight at Miss Junsha's heart. Watching the dagger creep closer and closer, Miss Junsha felt a wave of despair, closing her eyes in resignation. She had never imagined that the man known as Ghost Hand was actually a martial artist. But after waiting for a long time, she still felt no pain. Instead, she felt her body suddenly lighten as it flew backwards. Curious, she opened her beautiful eyes. Suddenly, a young man in white, a Pikachu perched on his shoulder, appeared before her, his fair hand grasping the dagger that was thrusting towards her. A domineering voice rang out, "Martial artist, excuse me, I'm a martial artist too, please add this to your collection, recommend it, comment on it, give it a 5-star rating, and anything else you asked for." Chapter 48 Anti-Alliance. Who are you? How dare you stand in our way of the Anti-Alliance? Are you tired of living? Ghost Hand, feeling a bit angry after his supposedly lethal blow was blocked by a young boy, completely forgetting his dagger was still in the boy's grasp. HMPH. Who am I? You're not qualified to know, Yu snorted disdainfully. He yanked the dagger forward, then used the momentum to punch Ghost Hand in the chest, sending him flying. Some of the men standing behind him were also unlucky enough to be knocked over. What are you all just standing there for? Come on, come on. Ghost Hand scrambled to his feet, looking at Yu, who had knocked him away, his eyes filled with resentment. Charge, kill that brat. The men in suits drew out machetes, flashing with cold light, and slashed at Yu. Looking at the group of people running towards him, Yu snorted disdainfully, "Pikachu, go help the police officer's Pokémon first. Leave these small fry to me." Pikachu, leveraging the momentum, leaped onto Yu's shoulder and joined the increasingly fierce Pokémon battle not far away. Watching the two knives slashing towards his face, Yu channeled his inner strength into fists, striking them in the chest with even greater speed than their opponents. With a few crisp cracks, the two suited men, before they could even reach Yu, were sent flying back to Ghost Hand's side at even greater speed than they had come. The other suited men who followed behind were stunned by the sight, having never expected Yu to dispatch his two companions so easily. Huh? This is Bajiquan, the Chinese martial art Bajiquan. Who the hell are you, kid? Ghost Hand's pupils narrowed slightly, his tone filled with shock, upon seeing Yu still maintaining his punching stance from a distance. HMPH. You talk too much nonsense. While Ghost Hand was stunned, Yu had already dispatched his men with the force of an autumn wind sweeping away fallen leaves. He reached his side and unleashed another punch. What? Ghost Hand, startled by the incoming wind, quickly threw his hands out to block. Bang! The sound of flesh colliding echoed. Ghost Hand, having been thrown back several meters, somewhat unsteadily, was filled with horror. He pointed his hand laboriously at Yu. You're a grandmaster. Only then did Ghost Hand realize that Yu's ability to withstand his attacks so easily wasn't a fluke, but a genuine strength. HMPH. You realize now, it's too late. Yu stepped closer to Ghost Hand, the sound of his footsteps like a death warrant. You, what do you want? I'm a member of the Anti-Alliance, Ghost Hand swallowed. The world's largest evil organization, the Anti-Alliance? Yet. What do you think? If you turn around now and ignore all this, I'll forgive you. Seeing Yu knew about the Anti-Alliance, Ghost Hand assumed he was afraid, so he struggled to his feet and looked at Yu with a look of pride. Oh. Really? The Anti-Alliance, the world's largest evil organization, divided into two factions, the civilian and the martial. The civilian faction is mostly composed of wealthy Pokémon trainers, while the martial faction is made up of a group of martial artists. Seeing Ghost Hand's increasingly terrified and shocked expression, Yu curled his lips and chuckled softly, saying, "And I think you're a member of the martial faction. And a peripheral member, right? How did you know that?" Ghost Hand pointed at Yu. trembling slightly. It was like seeing a ghost. Although this information seemed small, it wasn't something anyone could access, let alone a young man like you. You don't need to know that, HMPH. Are you sure you have me completely defeated? Ghost Hand suddenly sneered. Oh, isn't it? Then take a look at what this is. Ghost Hand tucked his hand into his sleeve, and suddenly two small balls, the size of quail eggs, completely black and emblazoned with flames, appeared in his hand. He clutched them tightly, as if they were life-saving charms. This is a Tang sect hidden weapon, the Thunderbolt Bomb. I didn't expect you to have one. Yu, a man of extensive experience after 6 years of travel, couldn't help but narrow his eyes when he saw what Ghost Hand produced. The Thunderbolt Bomb is a hidden weapon unique to the Tang sect of Bashu, China. Its destructive power is so immense that even a Grandmaster could be injured by it, and even Pokémon with a physique superior to that of a human could be injured. Since you know this is a Thunder Bomb, you should also know its power. Seeing Yu seemed frightened, Ghost Hand let out a smug smile, shook the Thunder Bomb in his hand, and threatened, "Let me go now, or I'm not sure what I'll do." He then waved the two Thunder Bombs in his hand. Haha, what are you laughing at? Seeing Yu's sudden laughter, Ghost Hand felt that smile was so creepy. Before Ghost Hand could react, Yu flipped his palm and swung it, and several silver needles pierced Ghost Hand's body, vibrating on their own. At the same time, a voice came over. I forgot to tell you, I'm also a doctor. What's going on? I can't move my body, and even my voice can't make it out. Ghost Hand was heartbroken at this moment. He had never expected the plot to turn around so quickly. Just one moment, he thought he had Yu's vitals, and the next moment, he was unable to move, allowed to be slaughtered. Ouch! That Thunder Bomb is a real treasure. Don't worry, I won't do anything to you, but I'll requisition your Thunder Bomb. Yu smiled softly as he snatched it from the immobilized Ghost Hand's grasp and walked away without looking back. The acupuncture points will automatically unlock in a moment, Yu said as he walked. It wasn't that he didn't want to finish Ghost Hand off, but because he was now in the secular world, bound by worldly laws, he couldn't kill without permission. While he wasn't afraid of the consequences, it would be quite troublesome. From an angle Yu hadn't noticed, Ghost Hand glared at Yu's back with a look of resentment. Not only had Yu beaten him, but he had also stolen the Thunder Bomb he had painstakingly obtained to save his life. Furthermore, because Yu and Yanrong had joined in the mission's failure, and he didn't know what punishment he would face upon his return, how could Ghost Hand not resent Yu to the core? Please bookmark, comment, recommend, and give a 5-star rating. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 49 Injured. In the heart of Solace City, the Pokémon melee was drawing to a close. Because the Anti-Alliance's trainers were martial, they also possessed combat power. They had just been dispatched by Ghost Hand to attack Yu, only to be left wailing on the ground. Without their trainer's guidance, the Anti-Alliance's Pokémon, despite their inherent strength, were overwhelmingly defeated by Yanrong and his team, rendering them incapable of combat. Yu, what's wrong with you? Are you hurt? Air, who was helping Miss Junsha watch over the Pokémon, trotted over to Yu upon seeing him, checking him with concern. Seeing Air's attentiveness, Yu felt a warm warmth in his heart, and said in a relaxed tone, "It's okay. Those little bastards can't hurt me." "Really?" "Yes, look, I'm fine." Yu jumped, fearing Air wouldn't believe him. "By the way, Air, have you seen Pikachu?" "Pikachu? It's been a huge help to us. If it weren't for it, we wouldn't have been able to finish the battle so quickly. And because it's exhausted just now, it's being cared for by Miss Joy." Air couldn't help but praise Yu when he mentioned Pikachu. "That puts my mind at ease. Let's go check on the others." "Yes," Air said with a sweet smile. Meanwhile, not far from Yu and Air, Ghost Hand's acupuncture points had finally been released. Once he was able to move, he gasped for air, suppressing his fear. Then, his eyes filled with resentment and a fierce look. "You forced me to do this, forced me to do this. Since this mission failed, going back won't end well," Ghost Hand thought bitterly. "And since you've made things difficult for me, don't even think about giving me an easy time." Looking at Yu and Air chatting and laughing not far away, Ghost Hand's lips curled into a sneer. With a flip of his palm, a thunder bomb appeared out of nowhere and lay quietly in the palm of the Ghost Hand. Then the Ghost Hand concealed its breath and rushed towards Yu and the others with its injured body. Yu, who was still talking and laughing with air, had no idea that the crisis at this time had quietly arrived. "Little ghost, give me your life," the Ghost Hand roared and threw the thunder bomb in his hand in the direction where Yu and Air were standing. "Well, no. Air, be careful." When Yu noticed the Ghost Hand's movements, it was too late to react. Once he dodged, Air, who was standing with him, would be in danger. So looking at the thunder bomb that was getting closer and closer, Yu threw Air to the ground without hesitation and held her tightly in his arms. Bang puff with each explosion, Yu felt as if his internal organs were about to shift. Even though he was a master-level warrior, the detonation of the thunderbolt bomb caused his blood to churn. He felt a sweet sensation in his throat and spat out a mouthful of blood. This, in turn, demonstrated the terrifying power of the thunderbolt. "Yu, are you okay?" Seeing Yu vomiting blood, his beloved daughter, who had been in a state of shock, suddenly became anxious, tears already welling up in her beautiful eyes. Cough, cough, "I'm fine," cough. Wiping the corner of his mouth, Yu quickly stood up and rushed towards Ghost Hand. "Haha. Let's die together." Ghost Hand's eyes, staring at Yu charging at him, no longer filled with fear, but with madness. He unexpectedly pulled out another thunderbolt from somewhere. Not good. Yu saw this. But he didn't care. He paused and launched a steel coin, intending to knock the thunderbolt out of Ghost Hand's hand. However, due to the injury he had just suffered from the explosion, he was still a step too slow. Ghost Hand's thunderbolt blasts were aimed at the innocent crowd nearby, and the coin, like a volley of bullets, pierced Ghost Hand's palm. Yu knew at that moment that if he didn't intervene, those innocent people would face a terrible fate. So, without even caring about Ghost Hand, who was clutching his hand and wailing, Yu pulled out his Yagyo spear from his stored ring. Using its length and tip, he intercepted the thunderbolts hurtling toward the crowd, but in doing so, Yu was once again caught in the aftermath of the explosion. "Yu, are you okay?" Yu looked at his beloved, running toward him. Suddenly, his vision blurred. The spear, which had usually felt light as a feather, felt as heavy as 1,000 pounds. His head spun, and he rolled his eyes as he passed out. Seeing this, his beloved rushed forward to support Yu, preventing him from making direct contact with the ground. "Air, are you okay?" What happened to Yu? Xiaozhi, Miss Junsha, and the others had arrived upon hearing the explosion. Upon seeing the scene before them, Xiaozhi anxiously exclaimed, "I'm fine. It's just Yu? Well, I can't explain it all right now. Miss Joy, could you please check on Yu for me?" Air looked at Miss Joy, who had just arrived with Jigglypuff, her tone filled with concern. "Yes, let me take a look." Miss Joy took Yu from Air's arms and began to examine him carefully. As time went on, Miss Joy's complexion grew increasingly pale. She instructed Jigglypuff, who was assisting her, "Jigglypuff, the patient's internal organs are severely damaged. He needs immediate attention. Push a stretcher and take him to the hospital right now." Although Miss Joy was a Pokemon doctor, she was no problem with some basic human examinations and diagnoses. Jigglypuff, seeing Miss Joy's serious expression, Jigglypuff didn't hesitate and immediately ran to push the stretcher. "Miss Joy, how is Yu?" The crowd gathered around, all looking at Yu with concern. "Yu, his condition is very dire. If it weren't for his strong constitution, he would have died long ago. He needs to be taken to the hospital immediately." Miss Joy's face was grim. After all, she knew that Yu was the adopted brother of her family's princess, and now he had gotten into trouble on his own territory. A moment later, Yu was loaded onto a stretcher and taken to the hospital. "Pikachu, I'm sorry. If it weren't for me, Yu wouldn't be like this," Air said with guilt, looking at Pikachu worriedly in the operating room. Pikachu turned to Air, whose eyes were red and swollen, smiled at her, shook his head, and said it was okay, so she didn't need to worry. Pop, pop with a few soft sounds, the Pokeballs that had been set aside opened automatically. Yu's Pokemon, Bazooka and Ditto, and even the Water-shy Magikarp, all appeared at the same time, joining Pikachu. Please bookmark, comment, recommend, and more. Chapter 50 The Pokemon's Decision. Yu's Pokemon suddenly appeared, startling Air. Seeing the Magikarp, They hurriedly grabbed the basin of water and placed it inside. "Everyone, I'm so sorry," they said, then apologized to Yiyu's Pokémon. Yanrong and the others, who had understood the situation, remained silent. Pikachu, Rocket Velocity Carp, the 4 Pokémon chirped a few times, signaling air to ignore them. Then, they ignored the others and gathered together, seemingly discussing something. "Boss Pikachu, how's our master now?" Rocket asked. Although Rocket and the others had remained in their Pokeballs, they could sense what was happening outside. "I don't know. I don't know right now. But don't worry. After all, our master is strong. Given enough time, he'll definitely recover," Pikachu said, shaking his head in comfort. After all, it's the Pokemon that's been with Yiyu the longest, which is why Rocket and the others call Pikachu their boss. Of course, Pikachu is also the strongest. "Alice, after all, we're too weak. We can't help Master," Ditto said dejectedly. "Yet, it's all my fault. I have no fighting power and can't help Master." Magikarp seemed very depressed. "Don't worry, old Jin. Master said that once you evolve and grow, you'll definitely be able to defeat me." Seeing Magikarp's dismay, Pikachu, as the boss, tried to comfort him. "Boss Pikachu, I have an idea. Why don't we go to this gym challenge on our own?" Rocket suddenly spoke. Seeing 3 curious glances, it puffed out its chest and said proudly, "We need to show Master that we're powerful even without his help. And we can give him the badges we won, which will make him happy." After hearing Rocket's words, the 3 Pokémon pondered. I think it's a good idea." Ultimately, it was Pikachu, the boss, who made the final decision. "Then let's get ready and go to the gym battle later," Rocket suggested. "Yeah, that's fine. And based on our past gym battle experience, the other gym should send 3 Pokémon. As for Golden, since we're going to the gym on foot, and you're limited in your movements, you can stay behind." Pikachu looked at Magikarp and made the arrangements with a slightly apologetic tone. "It's okay, you guys go. Remember to give me some credit too." Magikarp seemed a little down, and at the same time, a little unwilling. The smelt that he had captured at the same time had already evolved into Melodic, so he was still the weakest Pokémon. "Well, let's decide then." Looking at Pikachu and the other 3 Pokémon discussing their strategy, Magikarp growled in frustration. He was still too weak. If he could evolve, he could not only help his master but also fight alongside his companions on the stage, illuminated by the lights. Yanrong, and the others looked at each other in bewilderment at the 4 Pokémon mumbling and discussing something indistinctly. They sighed and shook their heads, then returned their gaze to the operating room. "Wow! What a cute Pikachu, look at the pink hat on it. So adorable." A group of girls and children watched Pikachu, wearing a pink hat, running along the street, their eyes twinkling. "Boss Pikachu, you're so popular. So many people are looking at you," the pink cat Pikachu suddenly said. Yes, Boss Pikachu, you're truly welcome." A rocket flew low beside Pikachu, nodding its head in agreement. "Just focus on leading the way, and don't interfere," Pikachu said calmly, his boss's aura evident. Indeed. These 3 Pokémon were Pikachu and his companions. As for Ditto, the pink hat Pikachu wore was actually Ditto. Magikarp, on the other hand, had been taken to a waterfall by Air for his own training, at Magikarp's own request, of course. After a brief discussion, the 4 Pokémon began their plan. Half an hour later, after Rocket's repeated inquiries and constant questioning of the other Pokémon, Pikachu and the other 3 Pokémon finally arrived at the solid gym. "Boss Pikachu, that old man across the way has such a powerful aura." Rocket swallowed hard, looking at the old man standing across from them. After arriving at the solid gym, they engaged in a conversation for over 10 minutes before the elderly man across from them, the solid gym trainer, Cockable, finally understood that these 3 Pokémon were actually engaging in a match with gym medals at stake, without their trainer's knowledge. Cockable initially resisted, but the 3 Pokémon's insistence forced him to accept this somewhat bizarre match. "Pikachu, are you ready?" Cockable said sternly, looking at the 3 Pokémon standing across from him. "If you're ready, then it's on." "Garoku, Ditto, you'll be the forward in this match," Pikachu said calmly, unfazed by Cockable's aura. Ditto shouted, emboldening himself as he transformed. The next moment, a Pokémon identical to Garoku appeared on the field. "Garoku, charge forward with all your might, then use Brick Crack." Garoku, Ditto's transformed Goroku roared to the sky and countered with brick crack. Bang! Immediately, two beams of white light intersected. Ditto, lacking strength, was knocked back repeatedly by Gurik, looking somewhat discomfited. Gurik, use Powerbomb, Cockable said, his tone devoid of emotion, as he watched Ditto get sliced by Gurik's continuous tile-splitting attacks. Seeing the power bombs coming his way, Ditto hurriedly unleashed a weaker version of his own. Tile-splitting, while the two power bombs cancel each other out, Cockable's fate was sealed in the cloud of white smoke from the collision. As Gurik's tile-splitting slammed down, Ditto reverted to its original form, collapsing to the ground, unable to fight. Please bookmark, recommend, comment, and give a 5-star rating. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.